Hello, beautiful people. Happy Wednesday. Yay. My name is Alicia Renice, and I'm so happy that you are here. Welcome to a live recording of my podcast, Black Girl Creative. Usually I pre record these episodes, but today I wanted to go live because I wanted to talk to y'all, and it's fun. It's fun to go live and talk to y'all. So I hope that you all are having a wonderful week so far. If not, I hope it gets better. But today I want to talk about being a full time creative. And I titled this The Pros and the Cons of Being a Full Time Creative. And I want to edit that and make it the pros and considerations of being a full time artist, because some of these cons aren't necessarily, I guess, bad, but some of them are just things to be considerate of. Like when you're venturing out to be a full time artist. I am a full time artist. I make music, I write, I take pictures. I've pretty much tried my hand at most things. But music and writing are like my two main loves. Photography, I love photography. I was a full-time photographer for a time. We'll get into that in a second. And that was great until it wasn't. And so now I just take pictures because I enjoy taking pictures as opposed to like doing it for money. But mostly right now I write, I speak, and I sing. So welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Yay. Hi, Jessica A. Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hi, Deshaun Burns. Hello. It's good to see you. Good to see you. St. Cloverton James Jones. Hello. Hi. Okay. Oh, yay. Hi, Leslyn. Hello. Hello. Hi, Barbara. It's good to see y'all. It's good to see y'all. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to start with the cons, as in considerations. Like I said, some of these negatives aren't necessarily negative to certain people, but for me, they brought a little bit of stress, of worry. And so I want to end on a happy note, so then we'll end with the pros, okay? So let's start off with the bad news or the hard things first, and then we'll go into the easier things. So yay. Oh, introvert in Wonderland. Hello. Hi, Maya Spikes, right? It's good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Oh, yay. Happy birthday, St. Cloverton James Jones. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear St. Cloverton James Jones. Happy birthday to you and many more. Yay. I hope your day is amazing. Everybody wish St. Cloverton James Jones a happy birthday, please. Happy that you're alive. Happy that you're here. All right. Yay. Good afternoon, everyone. So great to see you all today. I need this community so much. Oh, yay. That makes me happy. And I need y'all. Thank y'all for wishing her a happy birthday. Yay. Okay. All right. So the first con or consideration when considering becoming a full-time artist or going full-time, right? There's a lot of uncertainty. So I want to start with this. There are a lot of things that are uncertain. And I knew. So my mom's called me. I'm going to call her back after this. I knew she was going to call me as soon as I went live. Something told me. My intuition told me. But I'm going to call you back, mommy. Okay. So the first thing to consider is that there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of change and hope. Okay. There's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of change and hope, right? And a lot of chance, and hope. So when you're a full-time artist, when you're going to a job every day, you know what to expect. You clock in. So not when you're a full-time artist, when you're full-time working in the workforce, you are going in to clock in, clock out at a certain time, hopefully. You get paid bi-weekly, like regularly. You know pretty much what to expect going in, unless you work a job that's like, intense or different every single day. Like if you work in a hospital, it might be a little different. But for the most part, your job is pretty predictable. You know what to expect. Everything kind of is what it is. And you get paid a check. You might get a raise. You know what to expect. Becoming a full-time artist might be stressful because there's a lot of uncertainty, okay? As an artist, depending on what gigs you get, depending on who wants to pay you when, especially as an artist, there are things called, like people will pay you 30 days after a project is due, depending on the business. But a lot of people don't pay you. For example, if I do a project for somebody, they might not pay me until 30 or 90 days. 90 days after I have delivered the project, right? So sometimes you'll have to get ahead of those things, but some things are very unpredictable. On YouTube, I make money from YouTube, from ads, right? Every month is not the same, okay? Every month I don't make the same amount of money. I think last month I may have made around $700. And I think this month, the month before I made like $700. This month I'm making like $400, right? Because I didn't do a lot. So depending on what you do and how often you show up, who views it, right? You can't force people to watch. You can't get people interested. And some topics might not be as interesting to people as others, right? And so if you're going to stay true to yourself artistically, it might be difficult trying to like traverse, the creative terrain, so to speak. So yeah, so there's a lot of uncertainty, excuse me. There's a lot of chance and a lot of hope, right? And so by chance, I have met you all here. By chance, you all have come here by way of maybe somebody else's channel, a video they may have resonated with you. I could not have planned it. And I think that for people who are not necessarily full-time artists, they can plan things more regularly and anticipate things better than I can as an artist. So that's the first consideration. The second consideration, right? People judge me for how I live my life. People judge me for how I live my life. A lot of folks don't get it. A lot of folks don't get it. What does it mean to be a full-time artist, right? So for example, many people don't think that I'm a real artist, using air quotes, a real artist. What does that mean? It depends on who's saying it. People have a definition of what artistry should look like, what a full-time artist should be doing. For some people in my family, they think that a full-time artist or an artist who is making it or successful should be someone signed to a record label. They should have a lot of followers, thousands of fans or millions of fans, right? When we think of like artists, especially musically, we think of people like Beyonce, Rihanna, Glorilla, Meg Thee Stallion, these kinds of people, Sade. Like we think of these kinds of artists who are successful that we look up to. And so if you don't fit those categories, if you don't have that following, a lot of people won't get it. A lot of people won't understand. A lot of people won't support. I should also mention, a lot of people won't support you until you get the following. That's another thing. As a full-time artist, there are people who know you personally and intimately, but they won't be the first people to hop on to your thing. You might be out there by yourself for a long time and people still might not get it until they get it, right? Then they'll see like the social proof and say like, oh, you have, either these many followers or these many fans, you're touring, you're performing these places. So it's like the look of success, right? Whole time you could be broke and they would have no idea. But in their mind, a real artist tours, a real artist performs, a real artist does X, Y, and Z, a real artist gets signed. So for some people, they have their own definitions of artistry and it might not fit what you want to do as a successful artist. So yes, but it's not merely a profession to me, right? Many don't think artists are real artists, unless you have the fortune, the fame, the connections. And some don't think that artist is a real title or profession at all. Some people think that artistry is just for fun, for play. It's for the margin of time that's left over after working at a job, right? Like artistry is for play. And so some people are just not going to get that. And so for me, artistry is not just a profession. It's not just about money, right? Artistry is a way of life for me. Like I am an artist through and through. And because I live in America and because we are under a capitalistic society, I have to make money somehow, right? And the way that I choose to make money is through my art. It's through my art, and that has its own pros and cons. But basically, my whole point is everybody has their own definition. And so that can be really discouraging when you are not set in what success is for you. Like when you're not clear about what you want to do, who you want to be, how you want to show up, how you define success, you'll be limited to other people's definition of success and you'll always be judging yourself against their definition. So that's why as a full-time artist, it's really important for you to determine and decide what success looks like for you personally, okay? Because I'm a full-time artist, I'm not rich. I'm not signed to no labels. I'm not touring the world yet. And if I do tour, it'll probably be on my own dime, right? And I like it that way. And because I'm my own booking manager, my own songwriter, my own performer, my own, producer, because I'm doing all the jobs, right? It's going to take me a longer time because I am one person. And right now I can't afford to hire anybody to help me as a musician. So I have to do everything on my own. And so I would be silly, in my mind to compare myself to someone like Sade. First of all, legends, right? But also secondly, they have a whole team. They have a whole team working for them. But if my definition of success was not clear from the beginning, then I'd be tossed to and fro, which I was, to be clear, in the beginning of my artist journey, by the definition of success. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So yeah, so people will have their opinions. People are not gonna get it. People think that being an artist is silly, is hopeless. A lot of family and friends might tell you to do something else to get a job on the side because they don't want you to, struggle. And that's all coming from love, but it can also be a deterrent if you're not careful. Yes. But yes, please feel free to ask me questions. I'm going to answer your questions also. But yes, happy birthday. Hello everybody. Hi everybody that just came in. All right. So, yes, also me being multi-passionate, meaning I have multiple passions. I have a lot of interests. Like I said, I write, I take pictures, I sing, I dabble in a lot of things. I like experimenting. I might get into something else later. You know what I'm saying? Podcasting, creating video, doing different things. I enjoy variety. And for some people, that's frustrating because they like to put people in boxes and be like, you're the person, you do this, you're that person, right? And so as a multi-passionate person, it can make you feel like you are unfocused. It can also make you feel like you're scatterbrained. If you don't have something, when somebody asks you, as a multi-passionate person, it is stressful. When somebody asks me, what do you do? What do you do for a living? And I'm like, how do I explain this? And I just usually say artist. I'm an artist. And then if they're curious about it, then I'll fill them in. But for the most part, trying to meet someone's standard of like what is acceptable is stressful. It's stressful because I do a lot of things. I have fun. I have fun for a living. Like literally, that's what I do. I have fun for a living. And so some people will want to see proof of your success. And if you don't have the followers, if you don't have the money, etc., then they're kind of thinking like, oh, you're not legit. It's not legitimate. A lot of people don't, again, like I said, a lot of people require social proof first before they follow you. And so, for example, if say two people made a video, right? And the video is the same title, same thumbnail. If one video has like 1 million views and the other one has like 3, they're probably going to watch the 1 million view one. Why? Because we're humans and we like proof of concept. We're very distrusting and we like to see like, okay, other people like this, so I might like this too, right? Same with being an artist. If you don't have a lot of followers and ain't a lot of people, streaming your stuff, if not a lot of people are following you or, showing up to the event or whatever it is that you're doing, some people might not think it's legitimate, right? And that's why I said it's important for you to define your definition of success from the beginning, okay? Don't be like me out here just like, maybe, because some of the stuff that people want for you as an artist, you don't even want for yourself. Because let's be real, I don't want to be, not saying that I ever would be, but I don't want to be Meg Thee Stallion. You feel me? Like, I don't want to be Sade. I want to be me, okay? I want to be Alicia. And showing up my way might bring less people, but I'm content. I'm happier. You know what I'm saying? So anyway. Okay, so people might not get it. And I'm not easily understandable. And I don't want to be anymore. I used to try to like compact myself into like this like thing on this planet I can just hand people and they'll understand. And it's like, no, like I'm complicated. I do a lot of things. It depends on what the day is and what I do. It depends on what the mood is, what the season is in. And I love that. I love that I can move through different mediums and express myself in different ways, even if people don't get it and understand. So yes. Okay. If you don't fit into their perfect boxes, they might get frustrated. That's the whole point. All right. The next thing to consider, I constantly struggle between capitalism and creativity. And I'm going to make a follow-up video about that specifically because I feel like capitalism is ruining creativity, not just for me, but for other people. The reason why you go online and you see videos of people doing the same thing, talking about the same thing, doing it the same way, is because people have found a formula that works. And so they want to recreate and duplicate what that person has done. They want to be successful too, so they're going to mirror this person, right? But also, sometimes I just want to create stuff. I just want to make stuff, even if people don't get it, right? And so what's good for my pockets is not always what's good for my soul. And what's good for my soul is not always what's good for my pockets, right? So it's this constant battle between what is profitable and what is meaningful to me. And I'm leaning more into what is meaningful to me and starting to trust that more, and showing up as myself as I am, instead of trying to show up as a person that I think I have to be supported and loved, because I've been spending my whole life people pleasing. I don't want to do that no more. I'm kind of over that. So yes, so constantly struggling between capitalism and creativity. Another consideration to consider, and let me add more to this, right? You're struggling between capitalism because you're trying to survive, okay? And a lot of people don't support the arts. A lot of people think the arts are on the outside, right? Like that's not what's really important. What's important is like think that you can either touch and feel and see, right? Like things, objects, things that are taken more seriously than art, which is still art, right? Architecture, teaching, like things that people can understand and get and grasp. Those professions, when you say that, do well than just saying like, oh, I'm an artist, because people think that art is like foolish. Art is childish, I should say. So yeah, and a lot of people don't believe in paying artists. A lot of people don't believe in supporting artists. A lot of people think that art should be given for free, and it's not free to create, right? The art that I'm making today has taken a lifetime for me to gather the materials. You know what I'm saying? The music that I write, the songs that I sing, like it's a lifetime of studying music. But a lot of people think that it should be free or that it's not important. And so you're not going to be paid that much. Also, another ad I should add is like the streaming platforms, right? Everything is streaming now. On YouTube, I think right now I make maybe like $10 for every 1,000 people that watch my video. Roughly, I think. It depends, and it always moves. And that's why I say the first thing I said is there's a lot of uncertainty. You don't know what you're going to get. But on YouTube, I think I make $10 at this point, every 1,000 views on my video. And the way that I don't know how they determine this, because it moves all the time, but people who talk about money, people who talk about business, people who talk about things that people are really like searching for make more money than I do. And so I could talk about those things if I wanted to. I could talk about the money, which, you know, we will, because money is important. But like, that's not my focus. You know what I'm saying? And so because it's not my focus, I'm taking a hit because I'm not getting paid as much as everybody else. And so trying to do what is profitable might not be what my soul really wants to do. So that's something to consider. Okay. Yeah, so what's good for your pockets versus what's good for your soul. So another thing to consider is that creativity and art need rest and breaks, okay? It needs rest and breaks. So talking about streaming, for example, Spotify. Let's talk about Spotify. Spotify, and I always use this as an example. Spotify pays you 0.004 or like 0.004 cent. I don't even know what that is, okay? Shout out to my elementary school. But 0.0004 cent per stream. So every time someone listens to a song of mine, I make fractions of a cent. And this is a whole other conversations about how platforms are plantations and how they basically mine us of our labor and pay us the least amount of money to exist, because nobody's coming to Spotify except to listen to music. Not to talk to the CEO of the company. We're here to listen to the artist. But the artists are getting paid the least. Also, one thing that Spotify added, this is my gripe. Apparently, all the money that you make from streams, all that money, they've created something new where if you don't make a certain amount of money, right? All the money you have acquired, those fractions of cents, are going to go towards artists that make them more money. I hope that makes sense. It sounds wicked because it is. So basically, I'm making money, I'm making music, and the money that I make, I'm not seeing unless I get 1,000 streams on Spotify. And if I don't reach that number, that cap of 1,000 streams, all the money that I made from my music streaming on their platform goes to artists like Beyonce, goes to artists like, I don't know, insert name here, famous artists, right? And so these platforms are literally making it almost impossible for artists to make money. They're evil. The platforms are evil. I don't even know what to say, but the platforms are evil. But because of this, right, these platforms put artists in a place where they have to constantly be creating, constantly putting out art. And that's not how art works. Some of my favorite artists, Frank Ocean, Solange, and a lot of my favorite artists are also no longer with us. But either way, these artists take years to create an album. And they're able to do that because they have money, right? So they take years to make their album, and you might hear from them every like 3-4 years. You know what I'm saying? But for independent artists, which is what I am, meaning I'm not signed to a label, it's just me and y'all supporting me, right? So because I'm an independent artist, it takes more effort and more work to put out the art, but also I have to keep making things to make money. So being a full-time artist, right? Like, you need rest. You need to live. Like, you need to soak up life. Like I said, the art that I'm making now is from a lifetime of experiences. And if you don't have rest to gather those experiences to make the art, then there is no art. Or you're making art that is empty. So a lot of artists that we see today that are all sounding the same and looking the same, they have to do this because they're in contracts. Long story short, the contract might say something like, you have to make 5 albums for us in 10 years. And so that means every 2 years, you need to be producing, writing, performing, touring, because that's where the money is, touring this album, this project, right? Well, what happens? The artist burns out because it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable for an artist to keep creating. And artists really need a lot of rest. And capitalism doesn't really leave a lot of room for rest either, for flow or divine inspiration, nothing. It's all about making money. It's all about the bottom dollar. So yes, okay. Another consideration. Money is not always consistent. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of uncertainty when you are a full-time artist, okay? There's a lot of uncertainty, and money is not always consistent. Like I said, last month, money-wise, I made like $700, right? Hold on. I got paid, so last month, I made, 2 months ago, I made $700 for the whole month on YouTube, right? Last month, as in May, and I haven't been paid yet, I made $400, right? Because I decided to either do something that's not making money, that didn't get a lot of views, or because I decided to take a break. And I did take a break because May was really busy for me. May was really, really busy, right? And I knew that I wasn't going to make as much money as I did the month before, but my rest was more important, right? Luckily, I'm in a position where I can take a break. For a lot of people, they don't have that option. So they have to keep creating. And so you get people creating on like this hamster wheel. And much like the earth, when we keep mining the earth of its resources, right, the art becomes empty. So now we see artists on TV all sounding the same, all doing the same things, right, because that's what sells. They're not doing what's in their soul to do. They're doing what they're kind of trapped to do. They're kind of boxed in to make this one thing. And when they make the albums, the label has to approve of it. It's not like they can just put it out there and be like, I put this album out there. No, the label has to approve of it. That's how they trap their artists. It's awful. Anyway, but as an independent artist, luckily, I don't have to be trapped by clauses or, by the bars of the contract. You know what I'm saying? I can create what I want when I want to. It just might take longer. It just might take longer to do. So money ain't always consistent, and that can lead to a lot of stress. So the same with gigs and working, right? You're hoping that somebody's going to sign you on when you're performing or touring. You're hoping that someone's going to sign you on for a gig. You hope that the gig is going to pay. You're hoping that the gig is not just tips. You're hoping that the gig is at a place that people actually come and that you're not just making money from tips, okay? Or you're not getting paid in drinks, right? Like, this is the uncertainty of being an artist. You're hoping that somebody buys your merch or buys your music, because usually a lot of venues are not paying you. They're allowing you to have, what do they call it? Like exposure. We're going to pay you an exposure. A lot of people love giving artists exposure. Artists have to eat. If you enjoy the artist's art, you have to support the artist. But a lot of, places and venues don't understand that or don't think about that. But they're also struggling too sometimes. So yes. Also, you'll never really be sure if what you put out will be a hit or will be profitable. Everything's a gamble. Everything's a gamble. Every musical project I put out, we'll see. I don't know. Okay? I'm not sure. It's not a guaranteed anything. The hope is that people resonate with it, right? That's the hope and the goal, but that's not always the case. Yes. So following your gut, like I said, following your gut may not always lead to profit monetarily, but soulfully it'll be helpful. It'll be helpful. The next consideration, I want to be an artist, not a businesswoman. And sadly, whatever. In today's day and age, and also because I'm an independent artist, I have to be a businesswoman. But I actually don't care about business. I don't care. I want to make art and just put it out there. I'm going to be quite honest with y'all. I would do it for free. I honestly would. When I do things for free, it's easier. People can use the stuff. People can listen to it. People can access it. Like even the workshops and stuff that I want to put on, I want to do it for free, ideally. Because everybody ain't got money. You know what I'm saying? And money is such a barrier for entry for people. But like, I have to eat and live. So I have to put on my big girl panties on, my capitalist panties on, and learn how to be a businesswoman. But in my heart and soul, I am not a businesswoman because I don't care about business. I don't. Thank you for listening to my confession. But I actually don't care about business. And I also don't care about money, but I need money to survive. So then I have to care about it because I have to survive, right? So marketing, hate it, hate it. I hate asking y'all to buy something. I hate asking y'all to listen to something. I hate it. I hate it. But y'all won't know about it until I tell you, right? So I have to market myself. And I hate marketing myself because it makes me have to present myself in a way that is palatable to people and that makes sense to people. And I guess in a way like this could be marketing too. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, 50% off and da 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 da, right? Like it doesn't have to be like that. I think technically this is marketing, just me being myself. But either way, like I hate selling myself. I hate selling my art. I don't like it. It's not a strong point of mine. But I want to make money because I want to live well and I want to give to people, right? And so in order to do that, I have to market myself and I have to be like, hey guys, I have this thing and I made this thing and I hope you like it. And if you like it, can you please buy it? But if you can't buy it, that's okay too, because I'm just going to put it on YouTube, right? Like it's a thing. It's a thing. And I guess on some level, there's like this fear of self-promotion, but also like I'm tired of selling to people and I'm tired of being sold to, right? I wish there was a way to be like, hey, if you like this music, here's this music. And if you want to donate, great, right? But what I've witnessed, and I've tried that. I've tried the thing like, hey, if you like it, it's free. But if you want to donate, you can. You can't survive off that. You can't survive off of that, right? Off the good vibes and off the strength that people will donate. Because some people won't, because either they can't, or if you give someone the option to donate, they won't. They'll just take it for free, which is whatever. You know what I'm saying? I put it out there for free. But either way, I don't like marketing. And I market the best way that I can, which is basically just me showing up and being myself. I don't know nothing about them terms. I don't really know nothing about that, okay? I don't want to know nothing about that, which is why I probably need to hire somebody to do it for me. But I have to market if I want folks to see my art. I have to, especially now where everything is, like nothing is chronologically ordered anymore. Like there's, I'm sure there are things that are in like Instagram, for example, you can change the order of your thing, but the algorithm on these platforms push things that make them the most money. Meaning if a lot of people see it, then the algorithm will push it even more, right? Because at the end of the day, YouTube is trying to make money. At the end of the day, Instagram is trying to make money. Facebook is trying to make, or Meta, whatever they're calling themselves today, is trying to make money. And so I can't, you know what I'm saying? Get it how you live, but also I hate these systems. I love that I'm able to talk to y'all in real time like this, but I also hate that I have to play their game. Their sick and twisted game that they created, by the way, right? Like the founder of, or not the CEO, I think, of Instagram went live recently or did a video, and he basically got ate up in the chat, and rightfully so, because he basically said, hey, if you want people to watch your stuff, make your stuff more engaging, right? And so people let him have it because like, don't give us tips to hustle harder and to do more labor for your platform for free so that people see our stuff, right? Like, no, like you all have the power to change the algorithm to make it more beneficial to the people that actually bring people to your platform. Because at this point, you are punishing the people who are making your platform worth coming to, right? Like, the people that I'm coming to Instagram to see, I'm not coming to see the CEO of Instagram. I don't follow him. I'm not like, what? Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis, right? Like, no, I'm here to see the artists that I enjoy, the people, my friends, my family, right? That's what I'm here to see. But they're about their money at the end of the day, so we're playing their game. Yes, okay. So I say I market my best way. It's not mechanical, but I have to market if I want folks to see it. And some people don't even value artists and artwork. They think that it should be done for free or for cheap or for exposure. It's for exposure. So I wrote down on my journal, I said, I want to give my art away, but I gotta eat. Another consideration. There is no carved out path as an independent artist. There are people that I can look up to, and there are people who I can mirror or be like, oh, that's a great idea. Let me make this into my own, right? But for the most part, a lot of us independent artists, full-time independent artists, don't know what we're doing. I'm gonna let you know right now. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I show up every day and try my best, okay? I try my best. I see what works, and I see what works for me, because not everything that works for the algorithm or for the money, sometimes that don't work for me. And there are some things that I'm willing to cut and to sacrifice because I don't want to sacrifice my soul or myself, right? So there are some things at work that I'm just like, I'm not doing that. Nope, because I can't do that. Like some people would say, oh, stream every day. I don't know if this is like a good thing, but stream every day. I can't do that. I don't have the energy. I went live 2 weeks ago. I was exhausted. That live was 3 hours long, and it was about something very personal to me, right? It was about something very sacred to me. It was about my relationship with men, right? Whether that be platonic, romantic. And so all of those things drain me, right? And I don't want to have to keep exploiting my pain, exploiting my trauma, exploiting, not that it's exploiting necessarily, but if I kept doing it, it would be exploiting it. It would exhaust me. It would utterly exhaust me, burn me out, because I'm a very sensitive person. I'm a very, very sensitive person, and I'm learning that about myself. I'm very fragile. I'm very fragile, right? Which is why I don't engage in the comments as much as I used to. It's why I have to protect my peace, because if I want to keep showing up, then I have to be well. And showing up every day and doing stuff like that is not well. But YouTube might tell you, hey, stream every day. Somebody might find your stuff. I'm not willing to do that. And so I understand I have to eat that. You know what I'm saying? I got to eat that, because it's just not in my makeup to be out facing all the time. Like, I need a lot of quiet time. I need a lot of introspection. I need a lot of rest. I'm healing from burnout quite literally right now. You know what I'm saying? And so me having to keep showing up just to be okay is just not, it's not worth it for me. So it's something to consider for yourself. Do you have the capacity to do that? And if you don't, there are other ways that you can show up, because I don't show up every day. I don't. Not anymore. I don't show up every day, but people still find my art and still resonate with it. So you don't have to keep exploiting yourself and your labor to be seen, but also understand that it might not, you might not get a lot of numbers straight away really quickly by doing that either. And so for me, I'm okay with going slower if it means that I can be well in my mind and in my soul and my spirit, right? Okay. So there's no carved out path, good or bad, right? This could be a good and bad thing, and it is a good thing, and I'll get to that in a second. But there's no real like steps that I can step in, because I'm kind of carving out my own path, and some friends don't even get it. Some family don't even get it. Some fellow artists don't even get it. That I'm not willing. I don't want to learn about Web3. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm exhausted, right? And so at some point, right, hopefully when I heal from my burnout, when I have more energy, maybe then I'll have more room and margin to learn this stuff. But for right now, I'm honoring who I am and what I got, and I ain't got it. So there is work in learning. Carving out your own path takes energy. Carving out your own path takes time, right? And there is work and labor in that, in carving out your own path, and discovering what works for you, because it's a lot of trial and error. And here's another thing. When you are doing your thing, right? When you're trialing and erroring, when you're doing your own thing, right? People will be looking in from the outside, looking in and saying, you look a mess. You don't know what you're doing. You've been flailing around for 5 years. You don't, like, girl, what is you doing? You say you was going to start this thing, and now you're not doing that no more. You put that down, and now you're doing something else. We don't know what's going on with you, girl. Just like, give it up. There are people who will say stuff like that, or boy, or person, right? Give it up. It hasn't worked in 5 years. Give it up. It hasn't worked in 10 years. Give it up. And that is discouraging, because they don't see the progress that they think that they need to see from you, right? And it can be discouraging and exhausting, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Even the times that I felt lost and confused, like, Alicia, you look so silly right now. You look absolutely ridiculous. This don't make no sense. This don't make no sense. People asking you questions, you ain't even got no answers. Okay? There have been times when I thought about giving up. Okay? Just forget it. Forget it. I'm gonna go do something else. When I tell you, I am happy that I stuck it out. I'm not gonna lie, it sucked sometimes. It sucked. It was hard. I cried. I felt like I put all my heart and soul in this project and nobody listened to it. Nobody supported. You know what I'm saying? And like, those feelings are real, and we honor those feelings. But at the same time, I know that I was put here to create. And I'm willing to walk. The time is going to pass either way, Lord willing, right? The years are going to pass. I would rather the years pass and me get to know myself better as an artist and what works for me than just give up because other people don't get it or can't see it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so yes. So it can be discouraging and exhausting, but it's so worth it once you find your path. And I'm finding my path, And I'm finding out that my path is slower, it's gentler, right? Or more gentle, English, whatever. It's easier. And carving out my path is going to take time. It ain't no running through no bushes. That's not my path. My path is walking and then coming back. I realize that the way that I create, the way that I am inspired to create is very much like a lot of expanding and then contracting, expanding and then contracting. Not even contracting, but resting. It's like expansion. Then I need to rest for a long time and marinate on what's happening, what I'm thinking about. Then I want to expand again, right? It goes in waves. It's not just like expand. That's not the process for me. That's not how I work. Some people work like that. I don't work like that. I need time. So I'm giving myself the time that I need. Okay? The next one, next consideration. Sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do to survive and thrive. Okay? What I'm going to say is it's okay if you have a job. It's okay as a full-time artist that you have a job. It is okay. It is not a failure because you got to eat. You got to support yourself, right? And so a lot of people feel like, oh, if I don't go full-time with my art, if I don't go full-time with my thing, that I'm a failure. No. You're not a failure. We live in a capitalist society that doesn't honor art. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. So if you need to get a job, right? Hopefully getting a job, you can get a job that doesn't exhaust you and doesn't take you away from your things. When I was from your inspiration, when I was working as a server, right, I would take little pieces of paper. Of course I don't have any, but little pieces of receipt paper and put it in my little book. And I would be writing in between tables, in between shifts, because I'd be working doubles because your girl was broke, writing in between, like just fitting in what I could with what I had. And if all you have are napkins or receipt paper or voice notes on your phone, that's another thing I did. I used to go in the freezer, for those who serve, y'all know what I'm talking about, like the walk-in freezer or refrigerator. I go in there to cool off, right? Might be stressed, and to sing into my phone to get an idea for a song down. And I have like so many voice notes that I need to go through. But if all you can do is fit your art in the margins, that's also okay. Because yes, you are creative, but I want you to be well. Or taking a gig that you don't really want to do. I've done that, right? I've done that. Done gigs that I'm not really necessarily interested in. I've taken so many photo gigs in the past because it's quick money. Quick money. I say that, but it's actually a lot of work. Let me not downplay photography. Photography is a lot of work. Not only is it standing on your feet for hours, bending over, getting the right angles, getting the lighting correct, right? Editing the photos after the fact, delivering them, hoping they like them, hoping they have no notes, and then having to go back and edit them again, right? But when I needed money, I could count on my photography to get me money, in the first place. And then I can do the work after I take the pictures. So whether it is that you have to get a job or take gigs you don't really like, that's okay. You're not a failure. You're still a creative. But eventually, you will be able to get to that creative work again. And yes, ideally, I want all the artists to be able to leave their jobs and create their art. That's what I really want. And I really feel like if capitalism wasn't so sucky, people would be able to do jobs that they actually enjoy. You know, we would have people who are doctors, not just for the money, but because they actually care about healing people, right? Like, imagine that. We would have people working in food service because they actually enjoy serving. Serving for me was a lot of fun. The pay was not fun, but serving was a lot of fun. I love talking to people and food and eating is such a holy and sacred experience for me. And so being a part of someone's eating was an honor for me. But the pay and some of the attitudes of the customers were not it. So eventually you will be able to be creative again, and you can use your creativity while you're working in your own ways, right? But your creativity is always yours. So I literally wrote that as a note. I used to work as a server, writing lyrics on printed receipt paper. Now I get to create without the supervisor watching me. Okay, because the reason why I couldn't carry my notebook around while I was serving was because it's not professional. That's not a part of the uniform. But I knew that I had to write. Like, it was something in me. I had to write. So I'd print out my little receipt paper, feed it through, rip it off, and start writing. So yes. Another consideration, I feel like a lot of the issues are capitalism. So unlearning capitalism is hard. You become your own slave driver. So that's another thing. As a creative, as a full-time creative, right? There have been instances where I have not been a good boss to myself. I have been an awful boss, giving myself deadlines that are unrealistic, that nobody even asked me for, doing the most when the minimum is required, right? Even this video, I thought about doing like, oh, I need to set up the camera and I don't want to do that. I want to go live. So this is why I'm here, because this is easier for me. And I get to talk to y'all in the process, right? So unlearning capitalism, unlearning riding yourself so hard, because a lot of our jobs rode us so hard and we think that we have to be productive all the time. That's not how art works. That's not how creativity works. And we think that it has to go above and beyond. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Keep things simple, right? Keep it simple. I had to unlearn a lot of that. And that was all taken from like jobs that I had before. The toxicity, the rushing, the manufactured urgency when it's really not that serious, right? The unkind timeline, even working all day. I realize now as a full-time artist, I can't work all day creatively. I can't creatively work all day. And play is a part of creativity, but I'm talking about like bringing things out of my imagination and into existence. That takes time and effort and energy, and I'm exhausted. Even though I'm having a great time, I'm tired. I'm really tired after that. So yeah, so unlearning capitalism and the way that we are driven so hard under capitalism is really hard. And that's like the inner work that you have to do as a creative. Okay? So we have like 3 more considerations, and then we'll take a break. I'll read your comments, and then we'll get to the pros, because I want to leave on a good note. I want to leave on a good note. But yes, the next consideration. People are mean. People be mean. People are mean. People are critical. People are triggered by my being brave and free. And it hurts me. It hurts my feelings. When you put your heart and soul into a work of art and you share it with the world, or you share your story, encouragement with other people, you make yourself vulnerable. It is such a vulnerable thing to open your heart to the world and say, hey, I made this thing and I really wanted to share it with you. And I hope that you get good things from this thing. And it really means a lot to me. And it's something so precious to me, right? And pure and like beautiful to me. And a lot of people say like their art are their babies. I don't know if I feel that way, but I feel like it is an extension of me in some way, right? Like this is an extension of my expression. So therefore it is an extension of me. It's my feelings on full display. It's my heart on my sleeve. And then people will come in and say awful and mean things. And I'm not going to lie, that hurts. At least it frustrates and it enrages me, right? But at most, it hurts my feelings, especially if it's from someone you love. And that's the thing, right? When we share our art, we are giving people the ability to criticize it. We're giving people the ability to critique it, right? And your art, even though it's so precious to you, might not be seen as precious to other people. And you have to make room for that, because there will be naysayers. There will be people who say awful things to you, like you can't sing. You know, people have said that to me. I'm like, oh, maybe and you absorb it because you think like, oh no, am I really embarrassing myself? Can I really not sing? Are people lying to me? Right? Like you start to doubt yourself if you don't have a firm understanding of who you are, what you're capable of, and what you're here for, right? Because at this point, the negative comments, I delete them because I don't need them around. I don't need that negativity in my life, legitimately. Okay, I am my own worst critic. I don't need more critics. I'm gonna be honest. If you don't like it, you don't have to like it. Leave your thumbs down and leave, right? But unless it's like constructive. I can understand constructive criticism, right? But I'm talking about people who are just outwardly just like mean, excuse me. But yeah, it's very frustrating when you share your art with people and people say, oh, this sucked, or I don't get it, or you charging that much for that? Yikes. Or just these things that people might even say in passing and they don't mean anything by it. That still hurts because you're making yourself vulnerable, your soul vulnerable. And so when you're doing stuff like that, you have to have certain things in place, whether that's somebody, if I could hire somebody to go through my comments and delete all the mean ones before I go in there, that'd be amazing, right? But at the same time, you have to be able to filter out in real time the noise from other people. And that's a practice. And I'm still practicing it, and it's still hard, and it still sucks, and it still hurts. No matter how many times someone offers their opinion about my things, it doesn't hurt any less. I don't know what to tell you. Like, People say get tough skin. I can't get tough skin because if I get tough skin, I can't create the vulnerable art that I create. Like there's a cost. There's a cost to creating vulnerably, right? Is that you have to remain vulnerable and soft and sensitive. And that means that if you remain soft and sensitive, the negative things probably will still hurt. And I want to reflect to you that it's okay to be hurt. It's okay to be annoyed. It's okay to be angry about mean things that people say about you. And yes, there are people who are triggered about me being a full-time artist. People who will say things like, I mean, that's cute what you're doing, right? You know how people be like, oh, your little job, your little project. You know what I'm saying? It's like little. This is everything to me. Even if it's small, even if it has a small following. The fact that there are 62 people watching this right now, right? Imagine 62 people in the room listening to my heart, listening to me. I'm honored. Okay? I am utterly honored. But somebody might see that and be like, oh, that's not enough. You need to be having thousands of people watching. And some people say that in a kind way, and I appreciate that. But some people say that in a way to be like, give it up, girl. Give it up. It's not giving what you thought it gave. But there are also people who do want to be full-time artists or full-time whatever they're doing. And they might look at you and be like, what have you done to deserve the ability to be free enough to do what you want to do, right? Why you? Why not me? And to them I say, why not you? You could be free too. We could be free together. It's not a competition, right? If anything, I hope that people see me creating and see that, oh, this is also possible for me. But some people don't think that it's possible for them. And so if they see you doing it, their envy might, again, turn into a cancer and it be attacking you. And it has nothing to do with you, but them. Like they need to give themselves permission to be who they are, and to take up space as they are. But I also understand that it's scary and uncertain and all the other things that we talked about. So yes, okay. The next one. You're afraid all the time. You're afraid all the time. All the time. There's this like nerve-wracking and uncertainty that you kind of carry with you all the time as an artist, because even when things are going good, right, you understand that this contract, this project, whatever it is, this gig comes to an end at some point, and then you'll have to keep gigging or keep, creating or doing whatever you need to do to keep making money or to keep surviving or keep creating. And so there's this fear kind of that I deal with personally, where it's like this, it's not really a fear. It's more like of an anxiety, maybe an awareness, like, okay, we're good right now. What's going to happen later? And that takes work to work through. You know what I'm saying? That takes work to work through because sorry, I heard voices. That takes time to work through because it takes time to unlearn the things that you've learned, but also to process the trauma that you've experienced, right? Like, the reason why I'm afraid of being broke is because I've been broke before, okay? The reason why I'm afraid of being broke is because I've had my car repossessed before. I've had eviction notices before. This is not made up, okay? This is real life. And so because I've experienced those things, I know the shame that comes along with those things. If things fail, people will say, oh, you're a failed artist, right? People will say that you're a failed artist, or that, oh, you need to do something else, or this is not working. And so you're kind of afraid of losing. You're afraid of losing your home, your stability. You're afraid of losing people's respect for you, their admiration for you, because low key, you're paid by people's admiration of you, right? Like, people have to know, like, and trust you. People have to know, like, and trust you for them to support you. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah. Also, there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of pivoting. There's a lot of quitting. There's a lot of fear. And creating is healing work also, right? So as you're creating, you're healing. Every work of art, there's a part of me in it a little bit. Like, even if it's fun, like I'm very proud of it, by the way. I think I want to show y'all. But I made this thing in Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. And that was a lot of fun. That was fun for me. And it was healing. Why was it healing? Because I was having fun with my inner child. I was just doing stuff because it made me feel good. Not because I was trying to impress somebody, but because it felt good. So let me go documents. Yes. Okay. I'm going to share it with you. I'll share it with y'all at the end if I can't find it right now. But either way. Oh no, I found it. Yay. Okay. Let's see if I can present. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but we'll figure it out. I. All right, here we go. Share. So hopefully, can y'all see this? Okay. Edit and designer. I don't know what that is. No, thank you. But I made this yesterday, and this was a lot of fun to make. And I had fun creating this, and it wasn't for anything except for my joy. And even that was healing, right? So as a creative, I get to create things in real time and have fun with them. And so when you're healing through your work, when somebody poo-poos it or like, throws stuff at it, you feel like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, I just wanted to have fun. Jeez Louise, I'm not asking for you to judge it. I'm not asking for you to even like it. I'm just saying that this gave me a lot of joy and a lot of pleasure. And while you're creating, so I shared it because I wanted to share more things for the joy of it. Not because, I don't have nothing to sell. I'm not an illustrator, okay? I have fun. And that was comforting to me because it was dealing with my fear of one, being seen, one, being perceived a certain way, right? But also like I'm confronting my trauma and my fear and my pain when I'm creating. When I'm sharing with the world, I'm being brave. I'm a very timid person. I am. And people are always surprised about that, but I am. I'm very shy. I'm very timid, excuse me. And, I like one-on-one conversations. I like intimate settings and stuff like that. But it's a lot of work for me to press publish. It's a lot of work. And so when I press publish, I run. I press publish, shut down my computer and run. Because I don't need to be concerned with what people are saying about it, right now. I can do that later. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it's healing. All right. The next one. I don't even know what that says. It can get, lonely. Being a full-time independent artist can get really, really, really lonely really fast. You work a lot in isolation as an independent artist. When I'm making the music, mixing the music, writing the music, like it's a very lonely process sometimes. And you're just kind of in by yourself, right? Folks don't really understand. Folks don't get it. Like we talked about earlier, not everybody understands artists. And not everybody understands like artistry and like the art industry, and the fact that that's an industry itself frustrates me. But like, no, a lot of people don't understand artistry. A lot of people don't understand how long it takes to make a song. People think you just pumping out songs like that. And we do songs together live, but to make like a whole song, there's a lot that goes into it. Lyrics, going back and editing the lyrics again. Like, no, that doesn't really feel right, going back and editing them again, recording, and then recording them again, and then recording them all over again, and then realizing there's a noise here, and it's like, oh, we got to do the whole thing all over, right? It's a lot of work that goes into creating a piece of art. And folks don't understand that. And you're defying convention, right? Like, you are not doing the things that people understand, and people were already overwhelmed, right? And so we try to simplify everything, including our relationships with people and the way that we categorize them. And so, like I said, if you don't fit into an easy box, you might frustrate other people because they don't understand it. They don't get it. So what I would say for that is to get into community. There are communities of artists. There are people that you can follow who get it, okay? Because everybody's not going to get it because everybody's not an artist. I mean, I think everybody is creative, but not everybody is going to go down like the artist route. And that's okay. So yes, so those are my considerations so far. I'll probably think of some more later, but I want to see what y'all talking about before we move on to the pros. Let me go up. I feel like I've missed so much. But yes, if you have a question, please put a Q before, and then I can answer them at the end. Okay, here we go. Leslyn, hi. Would you accept a deal with a label at this point? No. I think if I did accept a contract, or a deal, I'm stuttering. If I did accept a deal or a contract, it would have to be on my terms. I would have to fully understand it. I would need freedom. Ain't no 360 deals. Ain't no, you need to create this much for us. It would have to be like I would work with like an entertainment company, but not like a record deal. No, because it's just it's too much. They're making too much money off of the artists. They're stifling their growth. They're not allowing them to be full artists. There's a lot of like nefarious things happening in the industry that we're seeing, examples of right now. People getting locked into their contracts. It's just a lot. And I'm also not a lawyer. And so half of the stuff they be saying, I'd be like, I don't know what you just said. I have no idea. And so I would have to have a trusted lawyer, somebody who gets it, and it would have to be on my terms. But no, I don't think that I want to do that. Sounds like a trap. Insert the meme of, anyway, Star Wars. It's a trap. Anywho. Hi, Level Up Single Mom. Thank you for being here. And yes, happy birthday to Sincloverton James Jones. You're awesome. You're awesome. Hi, Jace. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, please correct me. Hello, Alicia. I'm so interested to hear your thoughts on this topic. Yay. My daughter just quit her job to become a full-time artist. Congratulations to her. That's exciting. That's exciting. I'm happy for your daughter. That's exciting. Yay. Let me come down. No, Hannah, you're not too late. Welcome. Hi, everybody. I didn't get to say hi to everybody when you came in. Hi, Elsie. Hello. Hi. Okay. Yay! Hi, Sonnet641. Hello. Yay! I finally caught you live, Alicia. You beautiful being you. Being you is what makes your art so beautiful. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Because I'm just me. I ain't got it. Like I don't have anything else to put on because I don't have the energy for it. You know what I'm saying? But I really appreciate that y'all appreciate me as I am. That means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. So you're asking for that retroactive pay. Absolutely. Marissa says, hi, Marissa. You're also paying for the time it takes to process the feelings to create the art. Exactly. So when people say like, why is art so expensive? That's why. Art is not just like, I made this. It's like, no, it has taken me a lifetime to get the inspiration, to process the stuff, to create the stuff, to edit the stuff, to market the stuff, right? And then now it's finally brought to you. But you can't put a price on that. Like, how do you measure? Yeah, I spent X amount of hours. Like, even my singing, I didn't go to like singing school or anything like that, right? But I studied singing my whole life because my mom sang, my dad sang, my aunts sing, my grandmother sang, right? So like, how do you know what I'm saying? How do you price that? But yes, exactly. Oh yes. Listen. So we talked about Spotify earlier and how Spotify, if you're a smaller artist and you don't get like 1,000 streams or so, I think it's 1,000, they give all the money that you made off of your music, even though maybe only 6 people streamed your music, right? At 0.0004 cent a stream. That money, that little bit of pocket change goes to the bigger artists and they get a heftier payout and you make nothing. So essentially the smaller artists, it literally is a pyramid. Like it literally is a pyramid. So the smaller artists on the bottom, which make up most of Spotify, by the way, the smaller artists on the bottom, all their money is basically going up to the bigger artists. So the artists are essentially stealing, even though it's not them who's stealing. It's a misdirection of funds, I should say. So yeah, it's awful. And of course, the people at Spotify are making money. Okay, money. Hi, Afro Butterfly. Continuous pressure to perform kills creativity. Agreed. 1,000%. That's where addictions and coping comes from. Absolutely. It's not normal to be on all the time. It's not normal. Even the artists. Let's talk about. I don't know. I don't like using Beyonce as an example, but let's talk about Beyonce because that's, to a lot of people, that is the standard, right? I imagine that Beyonce lives in a prison of her own creation because she is famous and she always has to be doing something. She always has to stay relevant, right? I mean, at this point in my mind, she could retire and nobody would say anything. But I think that she feels the pressure to always be performing. Even seeing her documentary, what is it? Homecoming, the documentary, and how she had just given birth to twins and like suffered from complications. And then felt the need to lose all that weight for us, the viewers, not for me, because I don't care, okay? But for the viewers, like that is a prison. That's a prison. That's no rest. And so a lot of people see that and admire that and like, oh my gosh, I want to be admired like Beyonce's admired. I want to be famous. Do you really? Have you really counted the cost? Because I don't think anybody should be that famous. I don't think fame is normal. That's just me. I don't think that fame is normal. I think that, we the fans create the famous person and they become well known. I don't think there's anything wrong with being well known, but fame itself is destructive. I think that's why a lot of people have those kind of issues, like addiction issues, like the attention, the constant attention, constantly being talked about, constantly being referenced, having to hold the title of the best And then you can't fall from that. Like the pressure, it's too much. It's too much. So I do think there's a lot of issues. I'm not saying that everybody's on, obviously like on Beyonce's level, but I feel like even those other levels, it's too much. I want to make my art and go home. I want to make my art and go home. I want to be able to walk through Target and not be bothered, you know? So anyway, but agreed. I absolutely agree, Afro Butterfly. I get capitalism hurts artistry, but so would a lot of economic infrastructures. At least capitalism allows for independent enterprise versus not existing, since many artists can do the same. Okay. At least capitalism allows for independent enterprise. The thing is, I would disagree with you. Hi, cream of the hidden crop. Hello. But I would disagree with you. I think that capitalism discourages artists. I don't think, like a lot of people say, like capitalism pushes innovation and creation. I think it does the opposite. No one's really being creative because it's not lucrative. Nobody's really innovating, or whatever they're innovating, it comes at the cost of other people or other, you know what I'm saying? Like other things. It's more like we're just like building on top of each other as opposed to like building out. Like that's what it feels like. Like capitalism has like sucked all of us dry and we're all stuck in these little like silos. And I don't necessarily think that another economic infrastructure will better it. I'm not here like, oh, I promote this or that. I think that people are greedy, and greedy people ruin everything. Greedy people take all the things, again, takes the work from smaller artists and give them to bigger artists, right? Like to keep them on their platform. Like they're paying them with my work, not that as much, but they're paying them with my money to keep them on their platforms. You know what I'm saying? So like capitalism, I understand what people say I understand what people mean when they say this, but I actually think it does the exact opposite. I think it hurts more than it helps, you know, because it's not sustainable. That's what I mean. It's not sustainable. Okay, but yes. All right, let me calm down. Yay. Yay. Let's see. We can envision an economic system that is not capitalism. And this is where I am, right? Like, what about communalism? What about just supporting? What, like, you know what I'm saying? Like there are so many, I think that we are so bound to infrastructures that already exist, which I understand because it's easier to understand, but we can create something different. We're creative. We got the juice. You know what I'm saying? We can start a revolution and do something completely different where we're not dependent on worked hours for pay. Low key, I thought about this. If the entire country decided today, like working class people decided today, we're not doing this no more, actually, they would have no choice but not to do this no more. Obviously, like everything would fall apart and crumble. But I also don't see that as a bad thing. That's another conversation for another day. But I think that we have the power to create something beautiful and beneficial for all people. But yeah. That part. If money wasn't a required social construct, crime would go down immediately. Immediately. Hi, MXB vibes. I'm a guy. Hello. And a photographer, and I feel the same way. I feel you. I came out of photography a few years ago. I don't even know how many years ago, but I said, enough. I can't do this no more. I can't do it anymore. It's exhausting. It's fatiguing, like literally fatiguing on the body. A lot of people don't respect artistry and the time it takes to take pictures. You have to have a good eye, number one, a good eye, good composition, editing. That's a whole other monster. There are people who only edit, and there are people who only shoot because of how much work it is. So I feel you. And hi, H&D Abroad. Hello. Yes. Got to put on my capitalist panties because I got to participate in capitalism, even though I don't want to because it's ghetto. But yes. I hate the need to feed the algorithm. Same. Marketing drains me. Same. And I feel you, Black Artivism. Hello. It's good to see you. And same. Hi, Castro Cannon. Good day. You have a beautiful voice. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let Me Ride. Hi, Let Me Ride. Aren't a lot of the algorithms created by people? Yes. I.e. the videos you click show you more of what you clicked on. Yes, but no, right? Like, so are they made by people? Yes, the programmers. But if you're saying, are we the ones that create the algorithm? Kinda, but not really, right? So if I watch a video about pandas today, my whole feed is going to be panda, just because I looked at one panda video, right? But it doesn't really cater to the full expression of who I am. So kind of, but not really. And that's the downside of algorithms, is that they're so stupid. I don't know how else to say that. Algorithms are not that smart, right? They're not smarter than humans. Like they're not human. They don't have nuance. They don't understand what art is. It's just about like their algorithms are set to how can I make the most money? Period. You know? And agreed. Thriving on enough. Hi, I love that name, by the way. Thriving on enough. I love that. End goal, play the game until you can get out. And that's the plan. That's the plan. Like, so I've been chosen to go on sabbatical. Thank you so much to Stephanie Perry and the Vacarians. I appreciate that. And so while I'm on sabbatical, I will be resting, but I'll also be trying to dream of a different way that I can be an artist that is sustaining, but also like honoring the creative process. So yeah, I want to get out the game because I don't want to play no game. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to play no game. But yes, yes. Yes, capitalism is inherently a violent system, period. Hard stop. Literally was built off the backs of free labor, stolen labor from enslaved people. There's nothing, to me, in my opinion, there's nothing beneficial to capitalism, nothing. And everything that is beneficial in capitalism, like under capitalism, you can get that in something else. You can create a whole other system that doesn't have to come at the cost of the harm of other people. You know? Hi, Yolanda Williams. Hello, hello. Hi. Hi, Tiff. I love how well you articulate these thoughts. Oh, thank you. I have similar thoughts too. Trapped in a full-time job. Yep. Because making money as an artist is tricky. Capitalism sucks. It does suck. It does. And that's what I mean. Like capitalism really robs us. There's so many works of art we will never see because of capitalism. There's so many books that we need to read that we will never read because of capitalism. There are so many people that we are supposed to meet and who are supposed to change the world, but won't be able to because of capitalism. So I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So I get it, but I'm not here for capitalism at all. You know what I mean? Not me. All right, I'm gonna come down. Yolanda says, I draw and create my own quilts and I get a lot of people who consider it a craft. It's not considered real art. Ooh, that's interesting. Thank you for sharing that too. Yeah. It's also the world, it's also the whole. It's also the whole you are a woman and your work is not as important or meaningful. Hello? Hello. Like my mother sews. My mother sews and she also creates other things. She also gardens. And I do agree with you. I do think that there are some things that are seen as like womanly crafts as opposed to art. And I'm here to tell you that is art. Quilting is art. Sewing is art. Gardening is art. Because everybody ain't got a green thumb, okay? There's a lot of wisdom and practice that you have to put in to do those things. And I do agree with you. I didn't even consider that. Thank you for sharing that. Crafts versus art. Thank you. Like the arts and crafts store or fair. Thank you. Because it's all art. The Smart Singer, hi. I disagree. You will reach a point when everything will balance out. You can retain sensitivity and have tough skin. I hear you. And I'll think about that. But I don't want tough skin. I think that I am resilient and I do think that I am strong and I do think that my sensitivity makes me strong. Because even my sensitivity helps me to be like, that person hurt my feelings. And I can also have empathy for them and be like, you know what? But they're probably going through their own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that sensitivity in that instance also helps me to work out, you know, things in my own mind. Like, actually, Alicia, that has nothing to do with them. Or Alicia, they're having a bad day. Not saying that I have to take abuse. Because yes, yes, you don't have to take abuse. But I can also like use my sensitivity to help me in those instances. But yes. But I'll think about that. All right, I'm going to come down. Oh, thank y'all. I appreciate that. I had a lot of fun. It was fun making that. It was fun. Oh, why are you so fly? That's so sweet. Thank you. I never got called fly before, I don't think. So thank you, Afro Butterfly. I appreciate that. Thank you. Chica. Hi, Chica. It's good to see you. Always good to see you. Yay. Leslin, do you accept commissioned graphic work? I don't. And I did. This is the thing. I did. And capitalism ruins everything, right? It was no longer fun when I put a price on it. And when I started doing it for people, like I like creating. It just feels better when money's not attached to it. I don't know what that is about. Maybe it's like the expectation that when people give me money, there's an expectation that I have to meet versus me creating for fun. And it's like, hey, I just made this thing. You ain't got to like it. But I think when people give me their money, there's like this expectation and the pressure to live up to their expectation is heavy, but also like I be backed up. And like, if people give me their money, then I'm kind of like, I have to do this thing as opposed to like, I want to. I hope that makes sense. But yes. Oh, thank you. Lonely can also be a meditation. I agree. I agree. And Alicia, your artistry is so very loved. Thank you so much, the smart singer. That means a lot to me. That means a lot to me. Let's see. Is creation lonely? I find the recording process to be like meditation. Depends on what part of it is. Yes. So while I'm singing, I'm having fun. I'm having so much fun. But having to like go back and then redo it, that gets frustrating. Having to learn how to edit something, that gets frustrating. Having to market myself, that gets frustrating. That can be lonely. I think that creation itself doesn't have to be lonely, but the process, I think, to like market the things and like to be like to embody an artist sometimes is lonely, especially when you don't have friends who get it. But yeah, singing for me is meditation. That's why I be coming on here singing. You know what I'm saying? And I enjoy myself and it helps me to process and it's cathartic. But the process can definitely be lonely, especially like when you're not when you're sharing your art and you have no like feedback. It's like I hope this is good, right? So yeah. So both. And thanks for asking that question. That's a good question. All right, I'm gonna come down. Hi, Tori from Washington. Hi, thank you for being here. Thank you. St. Cloverton James Jones. I'm always conflicted when I find a new artist. I want you to make it big, and I also don't want the industry to prey on you. Exactly. And I think that's why I'm kind of like, y'all can keep that, because I don't want to have to be doing all that. You know what I'm saying? Hi, Anita. You are really teaching today. I hate that I tuned in late. Oh, no worries. The replay will be available, and you're on time. You're right on time. We're just about to get into our pros of being a full-time artist. The good stuff. Question. Thank you, Marissa. How can you begin to reclaim your confidence if somebody criticized your art in the past? Ooh, that's good. I'm trying to think of a real life example where someone criticized my art. I will say, for me, and this is me, for me, it takes time away from that comment or whatever that is that I'm doing. So for example, let me use it. I'll post a video, and then somebody will criticize something that I said or did or misunderstand me on purpose. And that frustrates me. That gets on my nerves. That hurts my feelings because I'm like, yo, I just put all this energy into this video and some of the people don't even be watching it. I think for me, I realize that negative comments stick out and stand out way more than positive ones do. I think that's just how we're wired, right? We remember the negative things that happen to us over the positive. It's really hard for me to remember the positive things when I'm going through a negative situation. So I literally screenshot good messages from people and keep it in a folder. Not lying. I literally have a folder in my phone where it's called like Good Things Happen. I think it's called Good Things Happen. Good Things Happen. Something like that, like good things. And it'll be messages from people that have said beautiful things to me about my art. And so I have to go back into those comments and read those things, interact with people. Also being around friends. I like what's good for my soul is being around people who are not just around me for what I create and what I make, but people who see me for who I really am, you know? And they reflect back to me like, oh, you have worth and value outside of this thing, right? Outside of this artwork that was criticized. But also it reminds me to stay human and that people are allowed to criticize my stuff. That's the work of an artist, right? Your artist can be triggering to other people, good or bad. It could be, what's the word? Resonant. It resonates with people, whether good or bad, right? That's a bell in my in my head. But it resonates with people. And some people will resonate with it and be like, oh my God, I love this. And some people will resonate with it and be like, I hate this. Either way, it's a passionate feeling, right? And so the art has done what it's supposed to do. And I also have to realize that work is not for me to do. People are allowed to not like my stuff, but people have to work out their own responses to my art in their own time. And it's also free yourself from the need to make your art likable to people because people won't like your art. People won't. And it doesn't mean that you don't have to. You know, and when I'm making art, I try to be like, do I like this? Did I have fun? Okay, cool. Press send or press whatever, publish, right? But I'm not gonna lie, that it does hurt. I wish there was a quick fix to be like, it doesn't matter. Just ignore it. It's hard to ignore it. But you have to have those things in place, I think, whether there be affirmations, friends, community, past affirmations from people from other projects to look back on, because there will be people who say something negative in the comments, you know? So I don't know if that answers the question, but I hope. Yes. Hi, Belle. Yes, I have heard they're raising the price of their subscription, and how dare they? Because they're not even paying the people. It's all greed. They're not even paying the people what they should be paying them. But yes, thank you. And hi, Belle. Hi. Hi, Amerk. Hello, Amerk. Does YouTube pay its artists the same way Spotify does? No, I think I don't know why Spotify does that. YouTube pays people again. It's all a mystery, but YouTube determines how much money you're gonna make off of 1,000 views on a video. So they'll say like per mil, but it's not a million, it's 1,000. But it's like 1,000 at 1,000 views, you might get $15. So if your video gets 500 views, you probably only get like 750. You know what I'm saying? YouTube though, what I will say though, even though YouTube doesn't pay like Spotify does, it's still not enough, in my opinion. If you give a super chat on YouTube, for example, to someone, YouTube takes 45% of that off top. 45% is gone. So YouTube is not as nasty as Spotify, but they're all evil, right? So it's like pick your poison, you know? So yeah. Thanks for asking that question. All right, let me come down, make sure I'm not missing anything. Yay. All right. Yeah, I don't want tough skin. I don't. Hi, Mel Milio. What kind of art do you do? So I write, I take pictures, and I sing. Thanks for asking. My skin is butter soft, period. Afro butterfly. I love that. Exactly. And that's the goal, because they want to socialize us as robots and not free thinkers. Exactly. Because I can better control you if you don't think freely. You know? St. Cloverton says, yes, I clicked on one economics video and all of my suggestions became why America's middle class is disappearing. Exactly. So it's like we have the choice, but it's really like the illusion of choice, because unless like you're searching for specific things, it's not going to pop up, right? Like, so the algorithm pays attention to your habits, yes, but sometimes it be doing too much. It's like, I was just curious. That's why sometimes I look at videos on incognito, because I don't want this in my feed, please. So yes. All right, let's see. Oh yay, I'm glad. Tough skin is overrated. What do I want to have? What I do want to have is a filter, yes, through which to siphon out the BS criticism from the constructive ones. Yes, exactly. Overall, I still make the art I want to see in the world. I love that. Benet, is that I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but yes, I agree with you. Please correct me also if I'm not. Okay, I think I'm there. All right, yay. I think I'm at the bottom, yes. Super chat to diabolical. Yep, I'd rather Cash App. Exactly, and that's why some creators are like, just hit the Cash App. Like, don't even do it. Because the artist, the creator, they're not getting all that money. YouTube is taking it's like, we're being pimped. It is what it is, right? We're being pimped. We are their people, and they're making money off of us. Literally, YouTube is just a platform, right? But it's the creators that come to the platform that create the stuff that makes us want to stay around, but they don't get the money. 45%, bam, 45 cents off of every dollar, off top. Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely, Leslyn. It's awful. So that's what I mean when I say like capitalism discourages artists, because artists want to create, but they also want to be supported for what they create, right? So like, how can I keep creating if you keep starving me? That don't make no sense. That's YouTube shooting themselves in the foot. That's silly. It would actually benefit y'all to be generous if y'all are listening to YouTube, the YouTube bots. It would actually benefit y'all to be generous, because more people will come to your platform, bringing more eyes to your platform, more creativity to your platform, and stop like trying to silence people that your algorithm can't better understand. I have a lot of suggestions, and I'm not in tech, but I'm from a human perspective. I have a lot of suggestions, but yes, yeah, they are all of them. Mega corporations mining off of us. Absolutely. All right, let's get to, oh yay, Benet. Okay, awesome. Okay, yay. That makes me happy. Barbara says, oh wow, what an amazing idea to keep positive, encouraging comments, memories, storing them and looking at them periodically. It's surely a great idea. Treasure trove of memoirs. Absolutely. Because it's really easy for me to get like I said, I'm my worst critic. On my worst day, I am my worst critic. Alicia, this sucks. This sounds so stupid. Like, this is real, okay? Like, everything I create, I don't like. I don't like everything I make, and y'all don't hear everything I make. So sometimes I'm like, this is awful. This is trash. Let's hang it up and try again tomorrow, right? And then I go into the comment section of other videos that I've created, and you all's words have literally lifted my spirits. I'm not joking. No hyperbole. Like, seriously. I really appreciate y'all leaving kind comments to me. For me, I'm a tender person. I'm a sensitive person. I am soft. and I am fragile. It is what it is. And so when I get kindness from people, I'm like, thank you for being kind to me. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Thank you all for being kind to me. Because the world is so hard. And y'all don't owe me nothing. Y'all don't have to be kind to me, but y'all are. And I really appreciate that. All right. Yay. Of course. Ooh. These platforms can use some more humanity. I agree. Home of Ren. I agree. And Amor as Lucha. Thank you so much for this. Always appreciate what you share in definite alignment. Okay, that makes me happy. Great. I hope this is helpful. Now let's get into the positive. Let's get into the pros of being a full-time artist, okay? Number 1, I get to create and design my life as I please. That's one of my favorite parts of being an artist, is that I get to design my life as I please. My creative process doesn't just start when I'm sitting down at a computer or a journal or a guitar or my loop station. My process starts when it starts. It starts when I wake up in the morning, when I go to the park, right? When I have conversations with people that I love, when I read a book. All these things are a part of my creative process, and I get to design my life in a way that is creative and fun and interesting. I get to learn things and share what I learn with y'all. That's fun. That's fun for me. Okay, yes. Yes, disrespectful is a great way to put it. Yes, absolutely. But yes, I have a lot of fun. And so I get to design my life and design my days as I see fit. Like I said before, I was my own worst boss, and before my day was packed. I wake up creating and go to sleep creating. That is not kind. That is not helpful. It's not the best way to create, period. Anything. I don't think that we're supposed to be on 24/7 in an ideal world. We wouldn't be on 24/7. And so for me, I get to take a nap. I get to, again, read books, listen to an album, research an artist, research a style of singing, these kinds of things, take up classes that actually enrich my creative life. So that makes me happy. Number 2, no day is ever the same. Now that could be a good and a bad thing. Like I said, some of these work both ways, but no day is ever the same, right? Every day you go to work, it's pretty much the same thing. You know what to expect, unless again you're working in some sort of other field where it's like more sporadic, where what's happening is more sporadic. Okay, but like for me, every day I wake up is a new day. I get a clean canvas every single day. What do you want to create today, Alicia? What are we going to create today? I literally woke up today and I said, you know what? I want to share this with y'all today. And that's what I did. So no day is ever the same. Number 3. Oh, but that can also be bad for people. That's why I said for me, these are pros. For some people, they want the same thing every day. And if you're that kind of person, then it might not be the best, outfit for you. And that's okay. It's nothing wrong with it, but some people like, I know what I'm doing. I know what to expect. It's too much, going on in the world for me to try to anticipate the day. But for me, I enjoy having variety and choice. I enjoy that. I enjoy being able to say, like, I feel like working today. I don't feel like working today. And a lot of the work that I do is done in projects. So it's not necessarily like, oh, I do X, Y, and Z this day and that day. It's more like, today I'm going to do this part of the project. Tomorrow I'm going to do this part of the project until I get to finish work. So with music and things like that, Absolutely. Nothing wrong with the comforts of routine. Nothing at all. You can still be an artist and love routine. Okay? It's just me. It's just me. Yes, I like a little bit of both. Same. Hi, Invincible Summer. It's good to see you. Hello. Thanks for coming. Yes. Okay. The next one. Pros of being a full-time artist. The possibilities are endless. Like I said, good and bad, right? The possibilities are endless. And when I say that, I mean that. Your art can take you places that you could never imagine. Your creativity can take you places that you could not have planned for yourself, places you didn't even know existed, okay? I talk about this often, how I did a cover of Mr. Postman, and I just did it for fun. I just put it on YouTube, and a couple of years later, I got an email from somebody saying, hey, we want to use your song in a commercial. And I was like, what? I thought it was a scam. I was like, okay, because I had been scammed before, and it's not fun. It hurts. I was like, this is a scam. But eventually they did put my song in the commercial, and I was able to eat for a year off of that one song in that commercial. After I paid my musician, so they gave me like $60,000. After I paid my musician and the person who helped produce the song, I had $45,000 minus taxes, $45,000 for the year to survive off of, right? And so I could not have planned that. I didn't know where that money was coming from. And to be quite honest with you, I was stressed, okay? I was like, God, I'm broke. What I'm finna do? What am I gonna do? And sure enough, this person emailed me, and it was possible to eat for the whole year. So like the possibility, when I say when you follow your creativity, when you follow your intuition, your knowing, like I had no idea however many years ago that was. And I'd be like, oh, I'm going to sing this song and it's going to get picked up by. No, I did it for joy. It was a joyful thing. That's why I say joy is the way. Okay. Joy is the way. Show up, enjoy, do your thing, enjoy. It might not make sense now, but there's a reason why your soul is telling you to do this thing. You can't see it yet, but you just got to follow and trust it. And it requires a lot of trust. Lots of trust. Okay. But trust me, the possibilities are literally endless. A mainstream beauty. Hi, mainstream beauty. Oh, I love that name. Main as in like hair. That's cool. And the beauty, a Dinkra symbol. Anyway, how did they find your music? On YouTube. Shocked. Okay, shocked. They found it on YouTube. It was on there for like maybe like a few years. I think it's like maybe like 2 years. 2 years, and then they reached out to me. But yes. So literally just show up. There's power in showing up. Even when it don't make sense. Even when you're singing into a camera and a microphone in your house alone because you just like the song, you know? So yeah. Yay. Okay. The next pro is that I get to be a kid and dream daily. I get to play for a living. I get to have fun for a living. I get to be a weirdo without being bullied. I get to be weird because people know that I'm weird and they accept me here. Like you all accept me for who I am, right? And that is a gift. I don't have to perform or be somebody that I'm not. I get to be all of myself. And I get to be led by my inner child. The music I create, the writings I write. I'm pretty sure there's a bird's nest up here somewhere because I keep seeing a bird fly over there. But anyway, I'm gonna let him live, you know, because we gotta raise the babies. But yes, like I get to be a kid all day. I get to have fun. It's not always fun, but I get to center my child self. I get to center my creativity, my fun, my play, you know? So yes, the next pro, I feel free. I feel great. I feel free. I create my own schedule. I can have a lot of free time if I need it, right? And another pro is that I get to see my art living in real time. I get to live my childhood dream. This is my childhood dream. My childhood dream is to be an artist. That's all I've ever wanted to be. Since I knew at 5 years old that I wanted to be an artist. I knew that. And I get to be that. And I get to help my childhood self dreams come true. What a dope gift. Like what a blessing that I get to be able to be all of myself. And the self that was bullied as a child gets to shine and take center stage and be loved. You know, and have her dreams validated. I'm grateful. So yes. Let's see. I'm going to star some comments. I'm going to come back to your comments. Yes. Okay. So yes, if you have a question, please feel free to ask. I'll answer if I can or direct you to other places if I don't have the answers. But yes, feel free. All right. Oh yes, I get to help I get to help my childhood dreams come true. It's raining here, raining very hard in the DMV. Okay. I have fun and I'm happy. What did make me happy was so I went to school, like I said this before, it took me 9 years to get my degree. It is what it is. It took me a long time. I was miserable. There was a lot of things going on. I had experienced a lot of trauma in college, but I also just wasn't happy. I didn't want to do what I was doing. I felt like I was settling, and I wanted to be an artist, but you know, they say artists don't pay the bills. Like art does not pay the bills, excuse me. And artists don't get to be artists. Artists have to be artists on the fringes. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that, oh, you know, when I do X, Y, and Z, then I'll be an artist. When I accomplish X, Y, and Z, which basically means when I do enough or earn enough money to appease my parents or my friends or my family, then I'll give myself permission because I have earned it. Now I can be an artist. You know what I'm saying? When really it's just like, no, like I only have one life. Why do I have to put my life on hold to appease people who don't really get it anyway? Oh, yay, rain. Awesome. It's raining in my area of Houston today. Awesome. Yeah, it was a little muggy earlier, so I'm glad it's raining, but I got to go out in it later, so we'll see. Hopefully it'll stop for a second. But yes, I have fun and I'm happy. Another pro is that I feel aligned and I'm filled with joy and purpose. And I know that purpose, and I put purpose in quotes, because purpose is talked about in a way that's like, what is your purpose? What is your purpose, right? And my purpose that I've decided to define is that I'm here to love and be loved and be the fullest expression of myself. That's my purpose. To love, be loved, and to be the fullest expression of myself. And what better way to do that than create, than to be literally all of myself? You know? Okay. Next. Sometimes I'm able to sustain myself over long periods of time for one project. So like I talked about the commercial, for example, that commercial, I was able to be okay for about a year, right? And in the back of my mind, I was always thinking like, okay, this money not gonna last forever. It's not gonna last forever. So we got to figure out something else. But like off of, as a creative, like I said, the possibilities for money making is also endless. There's no cap. There's no cap. Like you can determine what your price is. As a photographer, I determined what my price was. Looking back, I think it might have been too low, but I was also catering to people who may not have had a lot of money, right? And so that's okay. But yeah, like you get to determine your prices. There's no cap for how much you can create. You know, if everything goes well, you can make a lot of money, right? And you don't have to do a lot. You can do one project, and I technically didn't have to do anything for the rest of the year. I could have rested, but I wanted to create, you know? Another pro is when I do win, it's soul satisfying. When I do win, as in like when I do get the song in the commercial, when people do buy my album and people leave messages when they buy my album, and it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy, right? It feels good to my soul. And I don't feel like, and I'm winning without hurting other people as much as I can, right? Because whatever, capitalism, there's always somebody being hurt. But like, it feels really good to be able to win at something that you're really passionate about. Not something that you're just like, oh, yeah, I do it. But it's like, no, like I really care about what I do. And it feels really good to my soul when it wins, when it does well. Another pro, I get to experience people experiencing and enjoying my art and creations. It is so dope to be able to, like, I go on Instagram and somebody will listen to a podcast or listen to a song, and they'll put it on their stories or mention me in a caption, put my music on their photo or something or whatever they posted. It is like, yo, this is crazy. Like, never in a million years did I imagine. Like, I know that people listen to it, but it's different. It's different when you can see people enjoying what you're creating. And it's like, wow, did I really? Sometimes I really had to sit with myself, because I'm the person that goes on to the next thing really quickly. Trauma. Like, I'm like, okay, I did the thing. Great. On to the next thing. No, like, sit in it. Alicia, you did. That's why I paused the music that I was putting out, because I want to let it marinate. But Alicia, you did work, right? Like, that took a lot of work, a lot of bravery, a lot of energy. Hello? Excuse me real quick. It took a lot of time, a lot of resources, right? And you're seeing the fruits of your labor in real time. People saying that their songs are inspiring, that your songs are inspiring them. People saying that your songs give them hope. I put out a song recently about my sexual assault, and I'm putting out a podcast about that because I didn't really want to go live and talk about that, and it was really, personal. But I'm sharing the story behind that song, and to get people commenting on that video, which I didn't think was going to get a lot of views or like listens, because it's kind of, it's about sexual assault. Who wants to casually listen about, a song about sexual assault? But to hear people say to you, like, thank you so much for making the song. My heart, like, wow, right? Like, thank you for listening, and thank you for telling me that it was helpful. Because here I am thinking like, oh, I hope people, I don't know, like, it's kind of negative, and people kind of listen to me for the positive things, and this is not very positive. Rage was not like a positive album. It was more of like a venting album. And so I didn't think, or EP, I should say. So I didn't think that a lot of people were going to like resonate with it, but a lot of people resonated with it. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm doubting myself, and it's just amazing to be proven wrong by people who really admire you and care about you, So yes, it's just mind blowing. Like, wow, I'm really living my dream. I'm really living my dream. And it's amazing because, like, I guess when I was younger, I thought, oh, I'm going to be a singer. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be famous. I don't know. Because I thought that's what you had to do. And I'm not rich and I'm not famous by a long shot, but I am fulfilled. I feel really good and content. I feel really content. And yes, I need money to live and survive, but like, I feel good about what I'm doing. And at a lot of other places, I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel good about what I was doing. I don't know. I was just kind of doing it because I thought that's what you had to do, and this is what adults do. And creativity is always, again, seen as like a childish thing. And it's like, creating is like one of the bravest things you can do. Creating and sharing is one of the bravest things that you can do. And a lot of people want to create and share, but they're scared. And this is why I share what I share, to let you know, like, I'm regular, okay? I am regular. And you can have a creative life too, whatever way that looks for you. It might not be full-time if you don't want to be full-time, right? But whatever that looks like for you, you can have that. You can do those things. It's possible. It's possible. Okay. I said I create my own schedule and rules. I get to be rebellious and unserious. I'm serious about my art, but it shows up as fun. So I wrote this for myself because I've been so serious my whole life. Like, everything has been about survival and being serious and like contracting and squeezing and holding on tightly. When I create, I feel like I'm breathing. I feel like I'm stretching, and I feel like I'm existing on a plane that's not here. Like, I'm sorry, I forgot your name that fast. I apologize. But you were talking about meditation and how singing is meditation. Yes. The smart singer. Thank you. How singing is meditation, right? And it is. It's meditative. It's healing. And people would consider that so unserious. But singing is good to my soul. Singing is healing work for myself. Like, when I'm singing, I will get on and I might do this more often, like come here and do this live, but like, I'll get on my loop station and create like a little chord or whatever. And then I'll just play around with my voice and just sing in circles. And because it feels good, and it's so unserious, and it allows me to unwind. It allows me to unravel from all the serious stuff. And let me clarify, creation is serious, but it's not life or death. You feel me? Like, it is on some level, it is. We can get to that later. But like, no one's gonna die if I don't put out my music, right? No one's gonna die if I don't sing. But also, like, I get to sing and I get to be inspired by joy to create, as opposed to by like survival. I hope that makes sense. Like, I get to have fun in a profession where I get to create all day and finger paint with my voice. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. So yes, but I'm serious about my art. Okay. I am serious about my art, but it shows up as play and fun for me. So yay. All right. I'm noting your questions so I can answer them. This part. Yes. Home of Ren says, I'll die internally if I don't create. And same. I have to create. I have to express something. I got to make something. Okay. And like, Smart Singer was saying, creating is a meditation. Like, I know a lot of people be like, oh, sit. And for some people that's good. Stillness is great. Quiet is great. Empty your mind and da-da-da. That doesn't necessarily work for me all the time. And that's okay. For some people it does work, right? For me, I need to move. I like walking meditations. I like dancing as meditation. I like listening to music. I like singing as meditation. I like humming and like just like going over chords. Like, it might be something simple like da 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 da. It gets like the energy moving right through my body. Like, these are tools that I was given, gifts that I was giving to use for myself. If people like it, that's a bonus. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bonus. So yes. Okay. Another pro. I have an artist diary of my life based on works of art. I can remember where I was and what was going on at the time. So the videos I create, this is like an open diary for me, right? Where was I? What was I going through? What was I thinking when I said that? Like, I have years of videos at this point. I have years of podcasts at this point. I have years of music, and all the projects that I put out represent a certain time and place in my life. So my creativity, my creations are like an open journal, an open diary for me. Like, I can listen to a song that I put out. Wow. That's wild. Almost like 8 years ago, 2016 was the first project I put out. Called A Bite of My Heart. Let me actually put it in here. But I did cover songs of some of my favorite songs, and I remember being so afraid. And even that project was started on accident because I couldn't play any instruments. and I told my husband, I was like, I want to put out an album, but I don't have a band, and I don't have money to hire a band, and my skills with production aren't that good. They weren't that great at that time. I was just like learning stuff. And then he inspired me, Control V, paste. Look at me, shortcuts. I'm techie. But he convinced me to put out an album using just my voice. And that's exactly what I did. And it was great. I had so much fun and people actually enjoyed it. So yeah, so I get to have fun. And I get to remember the story behind the songs that I've created and shared. So that's great. Like I said, I'm living my dreams, my childhood dreams and my college dreams. When I was in college, like I said, I was studying, and even though I was studying deaf studies, so like deaf studies, so DEAF studies, and so sign language, deaf culture, those kinds of things. I enjoy signing. I enjoy deaf culture. I enjoy culture, period. I love culture, learning about different cultures and things like that. But what I wanted more than that was like my safe option. What I wanted more than that was to sing. Luckily there was a piano at the lower level of the dorm that I was staying in, and every night I would go in there and play the piano and make up songs. Every day in class, I'd be writing stories when I should be paying attention. I was an artist, but I didn't feel like art was a viable option for me, you know? And so I'm just happy that I get to create, that I get to make my childhood and my college dreams come true. In college, I was like, dang, I'm going to have to, if I become an interpreter, then I can make enough money to live. And I wanted to live in DC, by the way. Can't do that right now. But I wanted to live in DC, and I wanted to be an interpreter. And I had like all these like different internships that I've done at Gallaudet. I worked at Deaf Reach, which is also like a nonprofit for deaf plus individuals. So deaf and bipolar, deaf and blind, deaf and insert something here. And I was helping them like raise money. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to work here and I'm going to make this amount of money. I'm going to live in DC. And then I'll be able to moonlight as a singer at jazz clubs. That was my plan. I wanted to moonlight as a singer at jazz clubs and interpret during the day. And the thing about interpreting is that you can, in some places, not all the time, but if you want to be a contractor, you can make your own schedule as an interpreter. So I was like, okay, I'm going to interpret for like 4 hours in the day, and then the rest of the day I'm going to create. Now I'm just like creating. And at some point I do want to come back to interpreting and get my interpreting certificate. What do you call it? Interpreting degree and certificate. And you have to like, have to pass a test and all that other stuff to do that. But firstly, I wanted to be an artist. And now I'm giving myself permission as my own adult, my own caretaker, to be like, Alicia, you're allowed to be an artist. Go do that thing. So anyway, next. Okay. I get to connect with others and deeply. As an artist, because I wear my heart on my sleeve and in my art, you all feel, I would hope, you all feel like you might have an idea of who I am. You might not know like the full breadth of me, which is fine because this is very one-dimensional. This is a computer, right? So you're only going to see what I'm allowing you to see. However, like there are people who resonate with me because I am who I am, and you are who you are. And we resonate because there's something in us that is like, right? There's something in us. It might not be the art. It might not be the music. It might not be even what I'm saying, because sometimes we disagree. You feel me? But like there's something in us that is bringing us and drawing us together. And I love that because it really shows you that when you show up as your full self, your community will find you, or you will find your community. When you allow yourself space to show up, not to be perfect, not to be good enough, right? Just show up as yourself. Your people will find you. You will find your people. It might take time, but you will find like-minded people. I'm going to take this off. It's warm in here. But you will find like-minded people. I get to connect with other artists, other creators, other entrepreneurs, other dreamers, other lovers, other sensitive people. Shout out to Sin Cloverton, James Jones. Yes. Sensitive people, other people who are weirdos, other people who get it. You feel me? Like, because we dare show up. We dare show up. And that's all that's required, is for you to show up. Whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's not YouTube. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's trying, to go back to school for something else. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever that looks like for you. Give yourself the opportunity to show up and to be yourself and to be seen and perceived and to find your people in your community. Because sometimes you need an artist community. As an artist, I need an artist community to be like, I get it. I understand. No, that's actually really good. Or maybe you can try this. This worked for me. Maybe this will work for you, right? Like, you need people. You need community. That's the answer to all of this, is community. Because without community, I would not be here. Okay? Probably not. Without the right community, I would not be creating music. I would not be creating art. I would not be talking. I remember when I used to go live and there'd be like 3 people on there. My mom, my husband, and somebody else. And I kept showing up. And they were my community for a long time. And then my friends started showing up. It was like 10 of us. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, it may have been like 30. And I'm like, oh my God, there are 30 people in here. Oh my gosh. Right. And now there's like 84 people in here as of now. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's wild. And then sometimes when it's over 100, I'd be like, ain't no way in the world. Right. But your people will find you if you're talking about the things that you're supposed to be talking about, that you want to talk about, not supposed to be. Let's remove supposed to be. I'm trying to remove that from my vocabulary. But the things that you feel, not even just talk about, but to show up for. If you want to take a pottery class, you might find people who are there who just like, yeah, I'm just trying to find something to do. There are sports teams that I want to join in the DMV area. And I feel like some of those might be my people. I'm an athlete. My husband was reminding me of that. Like, you need to move. Like, you need, like, as in, like, I have a lot of energy and I like physical things. I like moving. I love dancing. I love playing volleyball. I love playing tennis. I don't really like contact sports. I'm not really into contact. But swimming, like these kinds of things, right? And if I sign up for a class, I might find people to hang out with. I also might want to try, some dancing classes. Because I've always wanted to try dance, but I've always said, oh, you're not a dancer. You're not that elegant, right? No, like find your people, because you don't have to be perfect to find your people. All right, next one. I get to create my own path. So like I said earlier, some things are good and bad. So while carving out your path is exhausting, it's also good, right? Because, you don't know what to expect. You're surprised, and the path is for you. And possibly there may be people who come behind you who can follow your footsteps until they find their own path. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm standing in the footsteps of giants, okay? Giants. And then I'm finding my own way. Like, okay, that worked for them, but I don't really want to go that way. So let me go this way. Then you kind of like go off onto your own thing. I imagine a machete hacking certain things, to like make a path. Like that takes energy. But when you find your path and your place, you feel so at home. You feel like, yes, this is it. This is it. I have a few more. So the last three, I learned a lot of new skills from DIYing. So doing it myself. Like I said, I am an independent artist, meaning I don't have nobody on no payroll. Okay. It is me. It is my husband. It is friends or people in my Patreon who like listen to the album or help me pick an album cover because I don't know what I'm doing. Community, okay? Community, because you need help. But for the most part, like, I'm learning how to do stuff on my own on the fly, right? And so, like, learning is frustrating. It's like carving out the path. Like, it's exhausting to learn new things and to create new pathways in your mind. But once you do it, now I know how to edit stuff. I know how to edit photos. I know how to edit video a little bit. I'm not a video editor, but I know how to edit it just enough. I know how to even change the voice. I know what my voice feels like now when it needs a break. Like we're coming to that point where I'm like, okay, you've been talking for a long time, girl. I know certain things because I've learned how to do things myself because I ain't got the budget, right? But I have time. I might not have money, but I have time. So I spend my time learning how to do things, how to make a thumbnail, things like that. And I'm grateful to be married to somebody who does work in tech because like as in like AV and stuff like that, because I don't know nothing about that. I don't want to... Exhaustion. That's why people hire people, but it's good to know these things for yourself too. Okay. Oh yeah. So like I said, I learned a lot of new skills from doing it myself, and about being multi-passionate. So there's this phrase that people like to say, what is it? What is a multi-passionate quote that people use to discourage master of none? Oh my gosh. Let me find the quote. Master of none. Oh, that's a show. Of course, that's going to be the first thing that comes up. Master of none quote. Also, that was a great show. So sad that, okay, the full quote is, a jack of all trades is a master of none. So that's where people usually stop. Okay. A jack of all trades is a master of none. But it continues. It says, but oftentimes better than a master of one. So again, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. So I'm like a little pocket knife, right? With a lot of different, yes, thank y'all so much. Jack of all trades. Thank you. Yes. I'm like a little pocket knife. There's another word for it, but it has like a knife on it, some scissors, maybe like toenail clippers, a corkscrew, these kinds of things, right? So technically, I'm not the best tool to use for any one specific thing, but I know a little bit about a lot. That's where I thrive as a multi-passionate person. I know a little bit about a lot. I know a lot of things that might sometimes be useless, but it might actually be really helpful. And so I think that being, yes, Swiss Army, thank you so much. Lasache Fagan, I hope I'm saying that right. Yes, Swiss Army, thank y'all so much. Thank you so much, Maya. Thank you, Leslin. Yes. So like I'm a Swiss Army knife, right? I have a lot of different parts and it might not be the best for, the thing, right? So ideally, if you're chopping chicken, for example, you don't necessarily want to use a knife in a Swiss Army knife, right? Like Seisha, Lasatia. I hope I'm saying that right, but please forgive me and thank you. But yes, a Swiss Army knife, right? But I know a little bit about enough. I can get the job done. It's not gonna be cute. The chicken gonna get cut, but it's not gonna be cute, right? It's not gonna be precise. It might take more effort and work, but because I know I know a little bit about a lot, it comes in handy. I know just enough, right? So yes. Hi Carlita, Renee, hello, hi, welcome. What genre is your music considered? Okay, I'm gonna star this and come back, but yes. So technically, it'd be more like soul, I guess. Soul and vocal music, soul vocal. Yeah, but it depends. It depends on how people categorize my music. But yes. Thanks for asking. But yes, so I know I know a lot about a little bit, and that really helps me. So yes, so I learned a lot of new skills. I see the possibility everywhere. I see art everywhere. As a full-time artist, I see art everywhere. Even the things that people like, they were like, art is extra. Art is not extra. Art is this microphone. Art is this computer I'm talking to. Art is the camera. Art is, these books behind me. Somebody had to bind these books, decorate them. Let's see, Rest is Resistance, right? Somebody had to design this cover, right? I have a Gil Scott Heron book, bookmark in here. But yeah, like somebody had to design this. Like this is art. Hello, this t-shirt, these headphones, all of this is art. This was somebody's creation. The world we're living in is somebody's creation, right? The building I'm in is somebody's creation. Ooh. And so people think that art is extra. Art is everywhere. Art is everything. It's just that it's not valued in a certain way unless it makes certain people money, So I see possibility everywhere. As a creative, as a hopeful creative, I know that we can create a new future. I know we can destroy what is evil and build something good, right? Like I'm hopeful because I know that I'm creative. And if I'm creative, so are you. Even if you're not an artist, not a painter, singer, it doesn't matter. You are creative. You can create something. There are endless possibilities because of your creativity. So yes. Okay. And the last one, you get to practice believing in and supporting yourself. As an artist, I forgot I wrote this down. I get to practice believing in and supporting myself. It is an act of love and care to believe in my dreams. I have to believe in my dreams when nobody else believes in them. When everybody else poo-poos it and says it sucks, there has to be, if I'm to be an artist, there has to be a part of me that is resilient, that hears my heart and says, like, I understand that you're scared. I understand that you think this was not good. I understand this might not have been your best work. I understand they rejected you. I understand all of that. And even still, we persevere. We gonna cry. We gonna set up camp here for a little bit, have a little pity party. Cause I believe in pity parties, by the way. You need to have yourself a pity party, okay? You need to mourn, you need to grieve. And then at some point we get back up and we keep on going. And so this is a practice for me of self-care. It's a practice of self-care to keep believing in myself. It's a practice to believe in myself. I don't always believe in myself. I don't always trust myself. I don't always listen to my intuition. I don't. It's a practice to have to learn how to do those things and how to keep doing those things. Because it's hard. In a world where every day there is messaging somewhere to say, give up. Give up. It's not enough. Your bank account. I made myself laugh. Your bank account. Be like, girl, give it up, honey. Okay. The parents that look at you with confused faces that are trying to, because your parents just want you to do well, ideally. Like in a perfect world, your parents want you to do well. When you are being creative, because the future is uncertain, they might not be so supportive. And so you have to even push through that. Like, yes, I know they love me. Yes, they want the best for me. But the best for me is not me working at a job that was literally killing me. Like when I tell y'all the last job I had, I talked about this before, but my lower back started like deteriorating. And I wasn't even doing nothing. Like, as in, like, I'm not lifting anything. I'm not doing any like hard, like impact, whatever. But she said my spine looked like I had a lot of trauma to my back. I don't know. But either way, I know it hurt. I would lay in bed and cry because my lower back hurt so bad. And I did what I was doing. I went to physical therapy. I got an MRI done. It was like they couldn't see anything. But when I quit my job, I started getting my health back. When I started creating, I started to get my health back, right? Creativity is more than just like, it's fun, it's pleasurable. Creating is healing for me. It is actually giving me an out for all the things that I've experienced in life. I'm able to make even the ugliest parts of my life into art. I'm able to create like monuments to the beauty in even the ugliest situations. You know what I'm saying? And that is a process. That is a process, and that's a practice. And it's hard sometimes. It's hard sometimes, but I'm grateful that I'm here. So yay. So those are my pros and cons of being a full-time artist. Yes. Hi, Mara. Hello. It's good to see you. And yes, stress, for sure. It was stress. Like my body was literally like attacking itself. And yeah. And hi, Zen Hands. Hi. Yeah, stress is a killer. It is. It's a silent killer. Marissa says I had horrible hip pain that I could not explain at my first job. When I left, it went away. Yes, right. And you feel so like, am I losing it? Like, I'm not imagining this pain. This is real. I feel this. Like I've been shedding tears, right? And then the environment and the environment not meshing well with me was attacking my body, right? And so now I feel like there was a lot of stuff that I just like kind of suppress. And like with creativity, I get to express myself, you know? So yeah. Yay. Okay. Let me see your questions. So if you have a question, again, please feel free to put a cue and I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. I'm looking for a fencing class. Oh, that's so cool. Closer to me. That isn't LARPing. Fair. I'll find it. Yeah. Yeah. When I think of LARPing, I think about that Bob's Burgers episode where Linda wanted to go to, to a LARPing thing. And she ended up like being a character that was like a maid or something. Anyway, shout out to my Bob's Burger fans. But let's see. Ooh, Daw to Nature. Hello. Quit my job and literally came back into my body. Yes. That's wild. Hi, Janine's World. Hello. When you do something you don't want to do, your body reacts. That part. And I didn't realize that. Like you hear it and you're like, yeah. But then you don't realize like, no, actually you're suffering. Like this is like long-term suffering, right? So yes. Oh no. Hi, Lynn. My first live and then power went out. I missed the middle. It's okay. You're here now. We're happy to have you here. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go to the questions. Leslin says, oh man, I hope you get residuals from that as well because they will. Yeah, no. I don't get residuals. It was more like a buyout. We're going to give you this money and that's it. And they don't run the commercial anymore until they re-up the contract with me. So if they run the commercial again, they have to pay me because that's my art on there, you know? So yes. Hi, Anita. Anita, do you sell your artwork? I do. I sell music. I haven't really thought about selling like art that I created. Actually, that's not true. I have thought about selling like my photos and stuff like that. But just mostly music right now and writing. But I'll get into, I think I'm going to dream about other things that I could create later on, you know? But yes. Thanks for asking. Hi, Barbara. Barbara says, I forgot to place QQs. Oh, no problem. What commercial was this and how can we research to hear it? Thank you for asking. So this commercial was golly, how did I forget? It was with Tom Selleck was in it. Tom Selleck commercial, Mr. Postman. But I found like it's about AAG. That's what it's called. AAG. So I'm going to find it for y'all and share it. Is this it? Because they might have taken it down because they can't, I guess, play it anymore. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Let's see. I found an article about it. Either way, I'll find it later and share it. I'll put it in like the community tab if I find it. But yeah, they might have taken it down because They can't pay me anymore. So maybe they took it down. I'm not sure. But yes. It was for AAG. AAG. Yeah, with Tom Selleck. That was cool. What did you do before the dream? I worked. I had a lot of jobs, and I want to have a live where I talk about all the jobs I've had. I've worked at McDonald's. This is not in any, well, McDonald's was the first job I had, but McDonald's, I worked at a hospital. I worked at Applebee's. I worked at Lucky Strike. I worked at IHOP. I worked at Circuit City when it was a thing. Rest in peace. I worked at McDonald's again. I worked on campus. I worked at a hospital multiple times in multiple, what do you call them? Professions, whatever. I worked at the hospital multiple times. What else? I've had a lot of jobs. I wrote them all down. And Target. I worked at Target. I worked at, where else? I've worked at a lot of places. I worked at so at the Baltimore Aquarium. I worked at the Baltimore Aquarium taking photos of people when they came in. I worked at a lot of places. And so I mostly just worked and went to school. I also interned at, like I said, Gallaudet. I interned at Deaf Reach in DC. That's more like Northeast DC. But yeah, so basically just working and dreaming and hoping and praying, trying to survive. That's it. And thank you. I highlighted this because I love Nina Simone, and this means a lot to me. So thank you. My husband always says like, "Oh, you're more like Nina Simone," because I'm like, "What artist am I like?" But yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. Nina is one of the greats, and I'm honored to even be mentioned alongside her. So thank you. Marissa says your dream came to fruition. Yes, it did, and I'm grateful because dreams do come true. And also, I want to say your dreams might look different than what you dreamed of, right? Like, this is not what I dreamed of as a kid, but I also didn't know this was possible as a kid, right? And so my dreams have taken me places that I could never have dreamed of myself. I've been invited to perform at retreats, which was great. At Nemacolin, which is like in Pennsylvania. It's like a fancy like retreat place. I got to perform places, again, getting on commercials. I've got to perform live places. It's been a lot of fun. I got invited to a tea recently to perform at the tea, so that's fun. I'm excited about that. So yeah, my dream is coming true. Thank you. Barbara says, hi Barbara, we will need to hear Rage 2. Haven't heard it. Oh, go on your site to listen. Yes. So let me share Rage, the EP, but it's also on my YouTube if you just want to listen to it there. So copy, paste. Yes, and I will find the YouTube video. Let's see. Rage. Okay. Ooh, people are live. Okay, so here it is. So the video is called like Soothing Music for Your Anger. Copy. Paste. Now it's playing in my ears. But yes. So that's the YouTube video as well. Yes. Thanks for asking. Hi, Leslyn. Let's see. As I listened to this, I remember that all I have ever wanted to do was teach and write. I love that. I wanted to do a book of poetry and then I didn't. Honestly, I am ashamed to say I have not. Don't be ashamed. There's no need for shame. We're here. It's scary, right? And we all have dreams that are like, oh, one day I will X, Y, and Z. There's no shame needed, right? But now that you are reminding yourself of what you really want to do, now's the invitation. And we look forward to your poetry. I'm excited. There's no shame. There's no judgment that I feel. I'm excited for you. And that's exciting because some people never come back to that place, right? Or they come back to it wanting to do it, but not knowing how to do it, or like, oh, it's too late for me, all these other things. No, it's not. We're here. And I'm glad that this could be a moment for you to be like, yeah, you know what? I got some things I want to make. And I'm looking forward to you making them. So yes, thanks for sharing that, Leslyn. Carlita says, oh, yes. So the genre of music, I do think it's soul. I think that's like the umbrella. I'm still trying to figure out what my genre is. I'm not even sure. I type in soul and like vocal and a cappella. But other than that, I don't really know. So let's see. Invincible Summer. I'm a jack of all trades, and that's appreciated at my job. I love that. It means I'm versatile, which increases my professional value. I love that. And this is exactly the point, right? It's good to know a little bit about a lot. It's good. Period. I love that. Janine, yes. When we were in elementary school, we were encouraged to paint, draw, dance, and sing. When we go higher up in school, it's frowned upon. It's considered useless. Yes. I'm literally drafting a video or drafting in my journal about how like growing up is a trap. Growing up is a trap, and how like there's a funnel, right? And I share it here now, but like, and I'll share it later on too. But there's a funnel. It's like in the beginning, it's like, oh, you can do all these things and you're amazing and you're the best, blah, 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 right? Gold sticker. And then as you get older, the funnel starts to like shrink. And then what they say you can do gets smaller and smaller. And then eventually the deeper you get into that funnel, the harder it is to come out, right? The harder it is to come out. And I feel like that's the plan. They get us when we're young and they put us in this funnel, and then it's hard for us to get out and to rediscover ourselves and to find ourselves. But they put us in a funnel so that we can work in places they want us to work, you know, just to make things easier. So yes, I agree with you. So yay. Okay. Yes, a funnel. Exactly. All right. It's so funny how the universe foreshadows. Yes, it is. Oh, yay. India Arie. I love India Arie. Her music got me through. That first album, video, I'm not the average girl from your vid. I can't remember what the album was called, but that album, loved it. Front and back. Circuit City, yep. I remember distantly, yes. Not It's a Distant Memory. Circuit City, that's so funny. Hi, Rose. Hi. Your video Slow is Love. It really helped me this week. I'm glad now that I'm starting a business for myself after going fast for a job. I love that. Yes, take your time. And congratulations, by the way. Congratulations. We celebrate you. That's exciting. And go slow. Take your time. Figure out what feels good to you, what works good to you. You know, what your process is like that you enjoy. Take your time. And also, there's no harm or shame while building your thing for working. There's no shame, because your job, what they say, like your job is your number one patron. Let your paycheck be your number one patron while you're building your thing. Take your time, because when you put the pressure on your business to make all your money, sometimes it can be really stressful and it can take the joy out of it, right? So just find what pace works for you. Take your time. You're gonna get there. I'm excited for you, and congratulations, you just see one. Congratulations. Yay. Oh, yes. Oh, no. Okay. Invincible Summer says, I developed carpal tunnel. Oh, no. And then hair loss from a past toxic job. I'm sorry. My body was rebelling when I felt I couldn't. Yes. Ooh. That's a word. Like, our bodies really don't be lying. You know what I mean? Like, it's really easy for us to intellectualize something or like to reason something, right? But our body be like, girl, that's a no for me, right? So I feel like angered is not the right word, but I am angered that this job affected you like this. But I'm also glad that you got out, and I'm also glad that you listened to your body, because a lot of people don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people push through when they say like, oh, it's just a few more years, or I can endure for however many more years left, or until I get the promotion, or until X, Y, and Z, right? Or until I move. And I'm glad that you listened to yourself and you left. I'm glad that it's a past toxic job. And I'm glad that your body communicated that to you. And our body's amazing. Our bodies are amazing. They're amazing. They're just trying to keep us safe. Be like, girl, this is not good for us. This is not good for you. So yeah. Thank you for sharing that also. Thank you. Aw, hi, Rose. You create art with your hands and art with your voice. Beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I think that's all I have, y'all. Yes, the body keeps the score. Yes, I love that y'all are celebrating each other. That makes me happy. Yay. Aw, what a healing conversation. I'm glad, Home of Ren. I'm glad. Because I'm sharing this stuff in hopes that, like, people hear it and feel empowered to, like, do your thing. Do the things that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to quit your job if you don't want to. You don't have to show up on YouTube if you don't want to. You don't have to do none of that. You can do what feels good to you. And take your time finding out what feels good to you. Right? So like I said, my pace is very slow. Like, I literally have a notebook and I literally be journaling all the time. I'm writing all the time. And then I decide what I want to share, or what I want to write, what I want to turn into music. Like, you know, so take your time. Yes, Acoustic Soul. Thank you. Acoustic Soul was a great album. It was a great album, front and back. Beautiful. What is it? Video, Brown Skin. I'm thinking about the hits that were on the radio. Brown Skin. I'm Ready for Love. That's always a favorite. I loved singing that song. I loved singing that song. But yes, yes, it's good. It's good. Yeah. Yeah. The funnel. It's a funnel. It's like, hey, here's the offer. You can be anything. LO, just kidding. What are you going to be when you grow up? Pick from these 10 things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, wait, I said I wanted to be an astronaut and you're telling me that I can only be a, not saying that anything's less than, by the way, but I want to be a singer and a dancer, but you're telling me that I can only be these things if I show up in this body. You're telling me that I can only be these things if I study at this place, maybe. Then you're telling me that, like, that's not realistic. I need a backup plan. So what's your backup plan? What if I don't have one? What if I came in this world to dance? What if that's all I want to do? Communicate with my body. I love watching dancers. It really is. It sounds like a cliche, but it really is poetry in motion. When I see people's bodies moving and communicating things with such emotion, oh, it gives me chills. It makes me cry. Like, I feel like people should follow, in a perfect world, people would follow the things that bring them joy, because that's the things that they're supposed to be doing. It brings me joy to sing. It brings me joy to share. It brings me joy to create and to facilitate even. It brings me joy, right? And I feel like there are some people who it brings joy to serve people at restaurants. Like I said, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't getting paid enough, okay? There are people who enjoy working at McDonald's. There are people who enjoy being surgeons. There are people who enjoy, like, who really feel like, yo, like, I'm making a difference and I love what I'm doing. The problem is that a lot of people are doing things because of money, because we all have to survive, right, under the system. And they're doing it because, like, just to get along, as opposed to, like, oh, this is actually what I want to do. And I feel like a lot of people feel unfulfilled in that way. And not saying that they have to make the thing that they're passionate about their moneymaker, but they don't have any time to do the things that make them happy. And I just feel like the world would be a better place if we were happy, you know? So yeah. Yeah. All right. Yay, I'm glad. Yes, take it, please. Please take it. Please take it. Process your feelings. That's what I do. Process your feelings. I got stickers on it. I like my stickers. Process your feelings in a notebook. Take your time with it and then decide what you want to create from that. But other people have different creative processes, so don't just take mine. You can make your own. But for me, that works. I like writing down my things, processing them, chewing on it, thinking about it some more, and then bringing it to y'all to talk about. Because I wrote this list maybe a week ago, you know? So yeah. Hi, Mistress Newbie. Hello. I stayed at my job even though it was stressful, but I took advantage of free therapy. Exactly. From my union, and changed how I conducted my job, which gave me control and greatly reduced my stress. And that is beautiful. And that is a win. That is a win. We count it. We count that. Yes. I am not my hair. Period. Barbara says, I started having high blood pressure and chest pain on a job. Oh no. I felt I had to leave or it would truly kill me. My brother told me I was retirement age. Don't stress over it. Retire. And I did. I love that you retired. I'm so glad. Barbara. Because, yeah, that's dangerous. Hi, Spaghetti Mac. Hello. I'm working on getting out, changing career paths. I feel drained by my 9 to 5, even though it's not difficult work. I more so feel mentally exhausted. Hashtag ADHD. I feel you. And, like, I also want to say that you don't have to have a reason to not like your job. I know, because for me, I try to rationalize, like, well, it's not that bad. Well, it does give me X, Y, and Z, and that's great. But, like, if it don't feel good to you, if it's exhausting, there's something else out there that is not as exhausting. That's what I believe. I'm hopeful that there is something out there that's not as exhausting for you, But yes. And Mistress Newbie, absolutely. I love that Mistress Newbie says she stayed at her job, set boundaries, and use that job to her advantage. And so if you're going to be at a job, let it be to your advantage. That's the best case scenario, obviously. But yes. Exactly. Do what brings you joy. And on that note, y'all, I think we could wrap up. I'm going to get out in this rain. But I hope that you all got something from this conversation. Again, if you have any questions, maybe you're watching this in the future, and you got questions, please feel free to ask. And I'll try to answer it, whether in a video or in the comment section. But either way, y'all, there are pros and cons, or considerations, I'll say, to being a full-time artist. There are things that work for me that might not work for you. There are things that don't work for me that you might love. But it's ultimately about figuring out what works for you, and how you can be an artist in a way that honors you, your personality, your makeup, your temperament, right? Even your time. And also, There's also nothing wrong with having a job and being an artist. Nothing. There's nothing wrong. You're not failing, okay? In a lot of ways, you're probably benefiting more than artists like myself who are on their own trying to figure it out, right? You have support. You have patrons giving you money, your job, right? But make sure that you're carving out time to be expressive or creative in your own way. Okay? So, until next conversation, y'all. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, please like the video if you liked it. It really means a lot to me. It helps with the algorithm. We just talked about that earlier. But liking helps. It helps to get out there. And keep creating. Keep making. Thanks for being at my live recording for this podcast, Black Girl Creative. Hi, Level Up Single Mom. Thank you to the moderators for keeping us safe. Thank you to all of you all for being here. And I will talk to you all in the next one. All right? Bye, everybody.